You've probably been here for the early one. Welcome to this week's Brick Talk again, for the people again who have been here. And as usual, we have a wonderful, hopefully wonderful topic with a hopefully interesting twist for this month's, not about this month, well, it's the end of the month, but this month's and this week's Brick Talk topic. We're talking about the maturing market. And it's a point that I thought was a great point to really get into. I'm Randy RTO on Twitter. Danai, if you were on earlier, you'd have heard Danai. He'll be back. He's still here. You can hear us and he'll jump in from time to time. But if you're watching us, you're not going to see Danai. And of course, Shay. Shay, you can introduce yourself again. Well, last time, don't worry. Last time this week, at least.
Hi, I'm Shay Miller. Okay, that's
And
fine. Shay
that's more
Miller,
than good enough.
friendly neighborhood psychologist, as I said before. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, man. And of course, I'm Randy. I invest, I teach people how to invest, and I do a bunch of things, including My Money JA, who is also one of our wonderful sponsors, mymoneyja.com. No, this week we're talking, oh, and of course, nothing that's said on the show should be considered to be investment advice. We're not giving investment advice. Only Dana is a licensed investment advisor and he's not acting as an advisor while he's on the show. So welcome, although I suspect most of you have been here before. If you're watching this in the future, I hope things are good your side. So anyway, the maturing market. Shay, you made a great point a while ago. How do you spoken about it? Have you explained what it is? So what I mean when I say, the maturing market, really, I was looking at what was happening
Hmm.
with the JSC. I was looking at some as I've been doing a lot of JC level conversations for the last 2 weeks, and also I've been going through a lot of documents for the last 2 weeks, and part of it along the way, looking at some of the things, had me realize just how mature our market has gotten. And as always, a little bit of tongue in cheek with it, right? Um, One of my pet peeves is always hearing about how the Jamaican market, this, that is not good enough, it's not at that level, blah, 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 whether good or bad. Um, and I am a staunch advocate for the local market. I'm a staunch advocate for the JC. Even sometimes maybe when I shouldn't be, I am. But I love the our market. I love Jamaica, and I can't help but to be there. So I thought of how our market has matured over the years, and I thought, hey, let's do an episode on it. And so what I mean by the matured market, I mean the entirety of the market. So some of the points you made earlier, Shay, I was smiling because I'd said that it also we are also the market. We're the people in the market, and so we have also matured as we've moved along. Right? And you asked a question
Oh
a
yeah.
while ago about the U.S. markets, and I sorry, you asked a question about the U.S. markets, and as saying that one of the biggest quote unquote surprises that I had in doing anything on the U.S. market was just the realization of how similar it is. The principles of investing, the concept of investing is the same across any and every market. I haven't come across a market yet in which the same principles don't apply. The principles apply. It's the same stuff across every market. It might look different, or it might be, the US market is faster than the Jamaican market. You have a lot more options. Some places in the crypto markets, it never closes 24/7. In the Forex market, it's the same thing. You have to wear pajamas, you have to do all kind of things. But the principles behind it is always the same. And so the Jamaican market, I think, like many people, I want it to mature, but it has also matured and it continues to mature, right? And I'll also point out that I didn't make a big deal of it because I didn't put out any other episode posters early, but I did throw together a poster that has a couple of hidden, well, not hidden, but elements in there. And as usual, I encourage people to join us if you want to jump in on the conversation, send a speaking request. And I do have beginner grow tomorrow. So two things. One, anybody that I've told that you want a prize where you get a grow discount, please DM me. If we start, there's one person with DM and then you just went dead. Like actually needed to finish so I can do the housekeeping to give you the discount. And two, if you can guess, let me see, if you can guess and tell me at least, I will say at least accurately, at least six of the things. Yeah, at least here for every one of the things that you get right, for every one of the things that you get right in the image, and this is open to everybody, but you do have to send a speaking request on Twitter, and when we accept, and you tell us for each of the things that you get right, I will take 5% off a grower session. So you get that discount for, there are a bunch of things in there. So it can actually be a pretty big discount. But for each of them that you get right, just allow everybody a chance to, you don't have to get it all right, but you can participate. For each of the things that you get right, I will give 5% discount. Um, yeah, and so there are a bunch of things in there related to the market. As long as you get
That's
all of
fun.
them, yeah, as long as you get all of them right, I'll give 5% off for each of them. And I in here calculating in the back of my mind, I'm going, is that what the hell are you doing? Five is too big. Why did you say five? Five, but hey, I've said
You
five,
know,
so I'm
you've
sticking with
already
it.
said it.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking to my word.
Yep.
And so the next grow, by the way, is tomorrow. And grow, you can learn. It stands for Grow Rich with Research. You can learn how to invest on the market and also how to invest not just on the local market, but it gives you a concept and an understanding of investing that I would like to think is one of the best out there. I put a lot of work, a lot of energy into it, but I've also heard over the years of having done it. I've also heard and seen the impact that it has had on people who have done it. So if you want to that, if you don't want a discount, feel free to just go to evermickle.com/grower, GRWR, and you can just grab your spot at tomorrow. The next session is literally tomorrow. So if you want to do this, you can go to evermickle.com/GRWR and you can learn. But if you participate, if you send a speaking request, and if you get for every one of the hints in the image that you get right, you get 5% off. And I would have to handle, if you want to do it tomorrow, you can also do this tonight. And I do the whole discounting for you tonight, and you'll get tomorrow's session discounted however you want. So that's me getting the housekeeping out of the way. And now I'm going right back to our topic, the maturing market. Whew, holy power. I've forgotten where we were before that, though. Um, yeah, I forgot where we were
I
before
know.
that. But
Oh,
yeah, well,
you were
tell me
just
what it
about to
means
get into what you actually mean. What
by, oh, yeah, well, actually mean by the maturing market. Well,
much yes, go ahead.
no, I was just making it clear it's the entirety of the market. So there's lots of things about the market that have matured and are other things that are maturing. And I think they're worth us looking at. I think they're worth us paying attention to. The JSC, I think I don't think of them as a quiet giant, but they can be considered a quiet giant. And within the region, they are definitely a quiet giant. Or a giant, I don't know if they're quiet, but they are a giant when it comes
Mhm.
to their product. I mean, the stock market, I don't know a better one in the Caribbean. If you do, let me know. We have other people from other countries that are participating here, and who knows? Who knows? Hopefully, it will get us to the dream of the Caribbean exchange. Um, and if it is, we will drive. What will drive it will be the Jamaica Stock Exchange. So,
I
material
believe
market,
so.
yeah, man, includes everything. I've yapped enough. So go through, Shay. What does this mean to you? What elements of the market have you seen mature, and what elements maybe you would like to see mature
I
or mature
think
more?
some of the elements that I've seen in terms of maturity is I think more focus is on main market now than when I first started in retail space. So I think
Mm,
that's probably one of them. So main market, large cap um stocks, and more focus on dividends. That's another one that I've noticed. That's
mm,
more probably more reflective of of a mature market. And I I don't know if our markets have become more tied to global trends or global economy. I don't know. I don't have a long. I guess I'd have to read about how things used to be or whatever. But I think that if I was here longer, I'd be in a better place to compare it. Um, but I'd say maybe more people down here are paying attention to global economy. I don't know, maybe. But
Well, I mean,
definitely the dividends thing, and definitely this the more people, more eyes on main market,
a lot more eyes
is
on the main
something,
market.
is are two things I've yeah, I've noticed that that wasn't the case when I got in at all. So
Mm.
that's different. I also noticed as well that I don't know if this is a function of the maturity, but it could be. I've noticed that there are less wild swings, or there are fewer wild swings in stock, a lot of the stock prices. I, I,
Oh, okay.
I don't, I don't, how do I explain it?
No, say it how you feel, and then we can see.
I don't want to say that it's more stable, but I guess the waves are not as big. So the volatility, I don't know how to explain
Mm.
it. I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
I think I do. I mean, you don't have to get it all right. Remember, what things we're not perfect on this, so you don't have to get it
Mm-hmm.
all right. But yeah, you mean you're thinking. I think what you're saying is that there is less volatility recently. Or what time period do you mean
I
when
don't
you?
even know if that's a fair thing to say. I
I don't
don't
know
know
if
if
it
that's a
is
fair thing to
either.
say, because there is volatility. There is.
There's a lot of value in
Um,
volatility. In fact,
yeah, there exactly, there is.
a significant amount of value in
Um,
volatility.
but I think maybe as well it has to do with the way I am investing, so that would affect what I look at and what I see.
Well, tell us what you mean, because that's another thing I said that, the market also, we are the market. People are
Mm-hmm.
the market players are the market. So we have also been maturing. One thing that came up in while I was talking about stocks in the growth group, one of the things that I've been talking about recently, I was saying that a lot of these companies I suspect are very, in some ways, probably very annoyed with the retail investors getting sharper.
You
They
know
used
what I
to,
want to ask as well? I wanted to ask, because you've been here longer than I have. The whole like month end and quarter end thing, and the predictable gains and thing. Was that always like that, or i- is that
yeah, it's always been, there has always been some amount of quarterly rise, and the shrewd investors would always been able to bank on it certain ways in certain
mm-hmm,
stocks. You know, Palm has been around for a long time. Um, and Palm is the only one.
mm-hmm,
Uh, but it is more pronounced now because there are more players now. I don't know if maybe like in the 90s or in the pre-FinSac days, it was more like this. And by the time I get sense and start looking at this stuff, it is what it is. And the market has never been as big as it is now anyway. So it is at its largest now. Uh,
mm-hmm,
so so yes, there have always been predictable periodic swings, but it was more quarter
mm-hmm,
end, definitely more year end. People, mark the market side of
mm-hmm,
things. That always have, you have to protect your book, right? But no, with the rise of the retail, there is significantly more retail impact,
mm-hmm.
active retail impact. There's more of us in the market. There's more options now in the
Yeah.
market in terms of investment options. But yeah, it has been. So to answer your question simply, yes, it has always been around, but it's more pronounced now, especially things like the monthly moves.
Mm-hmm,
Even the monthly moves have always been around,
mm-hmm,
but either from maybe more people paying attention to it, or just I think there's just more activity now.
mm-hmm. I was I was wondering, is that more characteristic of a mature market, or is it more characteristic of an emerging market, kind of, or
Mm,
like something
of-
something just coming up,
I mean,
or
overall, I'll tell you
is
something,
that just
just
has
point it out.
nothing to do with that?
No, it's a sign of a maturing market. It's market activity. Increase in market activity is always good. Again, these share prices aren't magic, they
Mm-hmm,
don't move by magic. So, an increase in activity is always good in
Fox.
there's always some level of good to an increase in activity. And we've had a significant increase in activity. I spoke about it last week when I was talking about that article that was in the Gleaner and how it made the JC seem like if I didn't know better, you'd look like the JC was going through a rough time. It's just because if you pay attention to the actual numbers and so on, you could see that things are actually great at the company, right? Um, so yeah, it's a
Mm,
great sign. It's a great sign. It's a sign of a maturing market, definitely increasing activity, and there are also just significantly more options now. Then I mentioned it earlier. I said Dana is back. Then I mentioned it earlier when he spoke about when we were talking about uh, we were talking about bonds a couple of years back. Let's say I don't I think it was maybe during COVID. I was very excited about bonds, maybe 2021, 2022 whereabouts. And the joke privately between us was me hearing that I don't know how bonds work. And where's the basis? What's the basis that they're saying that from? But anyway,
what?
well, no, anybody can say anything, right? Talk is cheap. But I made a point to say that look at where we are now with the bond market. Like what we're talking now, there's literally a bond IPO out,
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like what is it, one
yeah.
1.5 billion from Mayberry.
There's like almost always one nowadays.
That is the sign to me. That is one of the real signs of the maturity their
Mm-hmm.
shape. That is one of the signs of the maturity
Maturing.
of
Mm-hmm.
the market. Meaning, you said there's almost always on because
Mm-hmm.
we've gone through a series of bond raises recently. But Barita listed how much billion in both USD and JND.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what the thing I say that to me is a real sign of maturity with the market is the fact that like the latest Barita, not the Barita, the latest Mayberry one, Mayberry raise is pretty much a real.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the signs of the maturity for me.
Yes.
The fact that I come and borrowed from
I
you,
think that's where mature for you.
I repaid, and here I'm back again.
Mm-hmm.
And the values are different. Look at when Mayberry
Once
did the
more.
very yeah man. Look at when Mayberry did the very first one. What was the top yield? What was the top rate on the first one? That I remember was it 12% or the over 12%?
12.5, I believe, was top.
Twelve
Was it?
point
I
five.
think it was. I think it
Bonberry.
was more than 12.
More than 12?
But what the point I'm trying to
I
make is
think I
that
did more than 12, you know.
look
It
at
did. It
the
was.
I'm thinking 12.5. Check. Let's check.
okay.
The idea, to me, a big deal for me, I thought, is the bonds never used to talk to regular people, bro. And we're ordinary
Hmm.
money people are getting a bond, nothing. No, but you read to the
Mm-hmm.
point where you publish the financials and blah blah, pull up prospector. When, bro?
Mm.
You used to be a hear about a bond. Or they're raising money and you don't even know it, and you're serious at it closed.
Like
Because
that nothing.
it does not, you're parking us in that conversation.
That's true. Has nothing to do with
They do have
us.
your email for
No,
certain reasons. So you know, got money
nothing to do with us.
there.
Yeah. It's
A
like
small team raising the money and then go about their business. Like, not my business. So no it's come on, come on. You want some bonds? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yep. It's a it's a mark change, yeah. And I like that. I like mark that's in MARKED. And I like that the first one it was so one thing that maybe I was good at it is saying, pushing it to the public.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on
Mm.
record
Oh
as
yeah.
saying that we will know that it has started to work, meaning that we as investors are maturing and the market is continuing to mature. When I think my exact words were when another broker, when a company other than Mayberry and a
Mm-hmm.
broker, a company other than a Mayberry link company and a broker other than a Mayberry link broker participates and
Mm-hmm.
lists their bonds on the public market.
Yeah.
Bear in mind that during this
I
time,
remember you saying that.
yeah, man, it might have been a growth thing, it might have been an advanced growth thing, but enough time has passed, I can't say publicly. But bear in mind that in all of this, the there've been other raises by companies, and they just choose to keep the bonds private.
Private. Yep.
Yeah, they just chose to keep the bonds private. Then I think the first one was VM.
Mm-hmm. I believe.
Yeah,
Yep.
VM moved some things. I think they moved some off the private market onto the board. They listed some things on the market, and that's not a light thing. That in itself was a sign that different broker with a completely different company, but they're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have Barita
Barita.
coming in now and doing the same thing, doing their own raise and for a large amount, how much billion
Mm-hmm.
in both Jamaican and US dollars. And that's an entire market. No, we're at a point now, I think we have 14 listings on the bond market,
Mm-hmm.
including three on the US bonds, on the USD bond market. So
Yep.
people who, Jamaicans love the US dollars. You have two Barita bonds.
Fancy, USD only.
Exactly. And the ECL bonds, all on the Jamaican market, and they're all publicly traded. Now, the funny thing I notice is that, well, I don't know if this, yeah, I always want everything now, but you can't always have it all now. They're not, they don't trade that often, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm. Brand
But,
new. More
yeah,
usage shall be found. I
eh,
just go and build out the market. And like the thing I look at is these are these are some of what I would consider like the more active IPO brokers.
mm,
Have recent listings, the type that I will think will continue to list more things. So the fact that they list their things, I work with a company and in 2 months, on him IPO, 2 years down the line, he want some debt, and we say,
mhm,
yo, the public thing work for you. Then that's an option, and then more and more things will come out of it. But it have to start. The fact that
yep,
ECL has anything there, that's the same situation. ECL, Mayberry, IPO client, here they are raising bonds publicly.
yeah, it is, yeah. And on the flip side, like I was saying this before you came out, then I was saying, well, I waited till you came out to talk about it to say that one of the points I was making also this week was around the fact that a lot of the market players must be annoyed at
Mm-hmm.
the maturity, although I'm sure they don't think of it that way,
Mm-hmm.
but
No.
the maturity of the investing public.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
the
bro. I mean,
pesky
the,
retailers.
the thing is, the market changing is the people changing. Like, I'm not
Exactly.
when we say, oh, we're talking about, oh, the market will change next year. You have to make sure you're changing your mindset around it. It's not
Hmm.
because some equations and JSC's computer that changes things. It's not because the people doing different things because them seeing different value out of different things, or they might like the different like look on to him again. Everybody's favorite things this year is dividend and NCB, and how people speak about it in varying ways. But boy, I get some dividends. This thing paying dividends. Like the reason we can look at it and say, so much people come and tell you, "Oh, the thing I'm jumping to." Boy, if it pay dividends, I'm jumping there and trying to make and da 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 da. There's a common thread across the market that's way stronger in a way than it was 3 years ago. In fact,
Hmm.
we used to hear people talk about dividends as two ways. Maybe I'll break it big and I'll find this company that pays dividends really good, and but I don't actually do that. I don't actually find it yet, but maybe it'll happen. I hear about guys that did it with carriers back in the day, and that's so good. They're making some good money on carriers and carriers dividends and whatever. And then you have the boy, they pay me dividends at 2 cents, and them show the picture on Twitter. And that was a dividend conversation.
Hmm.
Now it's yo, which company I pay big dividends? Trans Jamaica dividends good enough. Boy, them pay dividends again. I'll be there. I'm not saying my Trans Jamaica because I'm paying them dividends every year. That's people in the market changing, looking for something else.
Yep. Yep. And acting along those lines
Mm-hmm.
too, even if they don't always know it. And then there's also
Mm-hmm.
the increasingly the savviness of the investors, right? I don't know. I know that it must be annoying because a lot of the things that you used to be able to just tell investors about, They can't do it no more, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just tell them, well, you can, but they're not buying it anymore,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was easier to sell the whole crowd on a one idea on used to be able to just sell on the name of a company and or on the on the on the name of a company or on yo, I know this thing and I'm telling you. I listen
Mm-hmm.
to whatever my advisor said. No, you have advisors like that I independent, causing people to be able to get bespoke experience. If I pay for it, but if I pay for it, I get a bespoke experience. The benefit for that is I know I'm not getting told the same thing that everybody that walk into XYZ broker's office gets told, which is what happens when you walk into pretty much every broker. You're getting sold the sell list for that week or the sell list for that
Or
month.
worse, they
Again,
ask you.
the thing that I found very interesting is the broker advisor experience seemed to be something they're pulling back on. A lot of advisors are no longer advising anymore. A lot of clients now open
They don't
accounts at
call them
places
that
and they're like,
anymore. I'm trying to
we
remember the
don't do the
last thing I
advisor.
saw.
Yeah, you don't have an advisor. Yeah,
Say
yeah.
that again, Shay.
They're calling them something different now. I remember seeing it the other day and I was like, wait, hmm. I don't remember what it is. I have to try to remember who was like they changed the name of
And
the role, I guess.
I remember.
Everybody used to have an advisor on their account. That's not the case everywhere now.
No, they're not
They say
calling
they
them
open their
that
account, they don't get a
anymore.
call, they don't know anybody there. It's just I send my money, send the email, and everything gets to as I need it to. I don't have an advisor. I've
Yeah,
heard that
Yeah,
many
man. But
times.
what
Or
I'm
the
saying
guy
is
used to work with is
even
not there
they're
anymore,
oh,
and he said nobody else coming.
so they're assigning somebody, but they're not calling the person an advisor. So
mm.
that's what I mean. Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah. I thought so too.
Well, that would
But that's
predict
cool.
why you think that's done. Why you think that they're doing that?
Bro, you're not advising me on nothing. Just let's be serious. So you know what?
That
I'm okay with that. And I think that also uh I guess takes some of the responsibility or accountability off them.
Mm,
Cause you know what?
mm,
I'm not your
In
advisor.
some ways,
That's
yes, but
not I'm not even
would
called
I say
that.
that? Because I mean, if you are an actual advisor, I mean, you're a broker, you're an advisor through the license of your broker.
yeah.
Then end of the day, like, that's your role. Like, you have certain things within that role, and
Hmm.
yeah, talk to a client, and it's just not, it just okay. There's no actual weight there. I don't. That's a real situation you can have.
It
But
is
then it
a real
can
situation you can have.
it depends on you or your sign and the thing, don't it? On your client agreement thing. Then. So
All
that's fair.
right. No, well, hold on. Let me say this. No, under the law levels, the fiduciary responsibility cannot be removed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the fiduciary,
The thing I'm talking about specifically is what the actual relationship the person will have with that employee.
there is that. So if I tell you that you're a customer of my brokerage, well, I did not assign you an advice. I didn't give you any advice. Maybe I sent you the weekly or the monthly or the newsletter, you know, what we think is good. But you'll notice at the bottom of that them say, this is not advice and they're not giving you advice. The advice that the brokerage will tell you that. No, why would they be doing that? I believe it's because I don't really want to have to deal with the reality of having
I tell this man to do this thing.
exactly because and you know in many ways then you and I are to quote unquote blame for that because I know that a lot of the work that I was doing and still do is around making people understand that part of a mature market, part of what it means to be a mature market, means that you need to understand what you're doing and understand what the experts in the space are actually doing. And
Mm-hmm.
the
Hmm.
job of the experts in the space is to do the thing. Now, what is the thing? Everybody know in them core what the thing is, even though we don't want to say. You have to predict profit.
Yes. Yep.
That's the truth. No, if I'm running a business, and let's be honest, this part of my business is not very good at doing the thing that people expect it to do.
And
I'm
so,
gonna tell them all kinds of things that it can't do. Now, it gets harder, right? So Shay comes to me and Shay says, I want 20% on top of my million that my granny gave me for Christmas last year. I want 20% in 1 year on top of the million. So I want 1.2 million, right? Because she want at the end of the year, she want gift herself a gift. She want pay down on a house, a $12 million house, and that's a 10%, right? Cool. End of the year comes, and based on what the advisor has told her, she's now down 12%. She didn't go to you for it to be down. She gave to you for it to be up. And she told you clearly what it was she wants. She gave you a time. She gave you a percentage. You gave her some advice. And, it's down. No, that can happen. Not saying that that can happen. Eh, you are predicting. So it can happen. However, if you have like a Danai, where like that's what he's doing. That's his only thing. He's not part of a big organization that's doing 10 different things and trying to sell you something. That's just all he's doing. When the thing was happening that was causing it to be down, you link that again, or you had a second session with him and him tell you to rework your portfolio a certain way, or you listen to him the first time, and when he told you what to do, you told him you wanted the 20%, and him say, boy, that might be a little steep, but let me try. I don't know if Daniel will tell that, but let's say that in this case, Daniel does. And you listen to him, and you get the 20 or the 30 or the 40%. You get it early too. You don't even get in a year, you get in 3 months. Having a Dana is also having somebody who will tell you, yo, you remember you asked me for 20%? And you're looking at 30%. Yeah, but it could go up more. Sure, it could go up more, but you asked for 20%. And you're getting the 20%. That voice, that personal advice is good, and is good from both ends, both to tell you what to go in and both to tell you when to, hey, you've got the thing, remember, come out, or if you're still in
Let's
there, that's on
go.
you. Yeah. He's not there to stop you or prevent you from making losses. But if you ask for the directions and him give you the directions and you follow the directions and you get the thing you want plus more, if you didn't listen, that's on you. That's not him breaching his fiduciary duty.
Yeah, I think
That, that's you breaching your greed duty. What you said it again, Danai?
Leon asked me what I had the podcast. We talked about something like that, and the question I asked was, "What's different between?" And you said that you think of things different from other advisors.
Mm-hmm.
When they say that, I don't know if I said it exactly like that, but I think that's a big part of it. It's we're doing something here, we're working with something. I mean, I know the experience in a lot of places. I can't say it's everybody's experience, but it just seems like they say send out the newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you there's a lot of advisors to swear by the newsletter, bro. Like they've never checked.
So, uh-huh.
So that there's no. So to me, it's almost like I don't really. It's two things. Maybe they don't feel like a responsibility in that way, or they truly do swear by the newsletter. Like they think the newsletter right. They think they don't think the newsletter is predicting. They think the newsletter is telling you what's going to happen, and
Mm.
it's not. There's no maybe can't go so in right. It's almost like when you don't go so, then the market wrong, bro.
Yeah. So I spot that evolution over the years. I saw it happening this way. One, yeah, them swear by it, but two, the companies leaned into that. I'm telling you here, we have an arm of the business, and the arm of the business is supposed to do that at its core. And we're now dealing with increasingly mature investors. These investors are increasingly mature, and they're expecting a level of service and a level of quality and a level of return on their money that they weren't expecting before. We never used to have to that. Them used to give you the money. We tell them save
No
it for 5 or 10 years, and they know how it go when the 10 year reach.
fixed
Retirement.
deposit, my brother.
Yeah,
Fixed deposit.
exactly. But no,
Yeah.
these
No,
guys are coming to
yeah,
me and saying, "Hey,
10% in 10 years.
Shane,
Give me the
Shane,
shit. I've heard that. Shit, you know, say we didn't have problems before. Them tell me say
What?
you and Shanice online. I talk about how much money they want to make. Them want to do that too.
yeah."
I say, me can't.
Who?
I cannot make you into Shay and Shanice. I can tell you where they went. I can tell you what they look at, and
Hmm.
yo, you want to learn? Do this X Y Z. Do the grow
Hmm.
up. Maybe you join the group.
Yeah.
I say, yo, make sure you ask the question. Bro, I have to do that. Join the group, my other time is, yo, make sure you ask the question. Like talk, cause
Hmm.
you should have
It's not,
Yep,
it's
yep.
being inflexible.
Inflexible. Yep.
We have to change so much. I always have to
I
change.
think I
Like,
think I think it's tiring enough with a lot of people. Think of the
Yeah.
think how often we've heard this Randy over the years. A man that was in the market for a while, doing fairly okay, then him stop, come back, and he's like, "What's happening here? I don't know where to start back. The market looks different to me."
Hmm.
That beats people because it's I have to go change again. It should be easy to come back to because I have a routine for it. I have a way it works in my mind already. I know I'm back.
Hmm.
I have to go
I,
read that. All the other things that I go to work every single day. I do this with the kids on weekends. I what, but this part of my life, I forgot to do this new thing with this now. I think that does throws people off. But it's not something I can mitigate. It's just a reality of the market, it's a reality of people.
that's true. That's true. And that's where it comes back to that's where the maturity again coming because again the market is just us, the people.
Mhm.
So for finishing off the earlier point and wrapping that in, if you're running the house now, right? You're now faced with an increasingly more mature investor base with higher expectations. And the little I used to tell them can't work no more. And you let me not say it in that way. Let me say it how they'd say it. You know, they have increasingly mature expectations, especially around profit. um, and your base, your company, your your company maybe isn't able to deliver that. Meaning, yeah, we don't have a lot of people in the company who know the thing the way that I know it. Even the people in the space don't know it the way that I know it. Them don't know it the way Randy know it. Them not, you know, I can't reliably go to an advisor and then tell me things way ahead of time and explain what should happen. No, what I'm going to hear is buy careers for the dividend. Not wrong with careers. I know careers is at near its all-time highs. Big up careers. I'm happy. I'm
You
happy.
have to
I'm sure a
remember
lot of people are happy.
you never look at your money and you look at your money and your thought or what you should be doing your money wasn't I need to buy a career, that's what it did. It was I need X amount of money in X amount of time because I've paid for child school in 5 years and I've worked it out from now. It wasn't the thing that other guy got that had a different idea for his money. The guy before him had a different idea for his money.
Hmm.
We often how often you hear from the space. Everybody's investments are different, and it's a personal thing. So why is it not personal? Why is it that me and Aaron gonna get the same advice? It's the this stock is a good one. Buy it.
Yeah.
This is a buy right now. If
So
what you're looking for is just anything that happens to my money, and I hope it works out. That works, isn't it? But at the end of the day, you're not buying Sagicor for buying Sagicor. You're buying Sagicor because you think if I put X amount of money in Sagicor, it's gonna go up by X amount, and I can sell it in the time I need it to.
exactly. No, you know that than I, and I know that. I know Shay knows that. I know the girl grads know that. I know the people in the girl group know that. We're very practical on the market. But then when people hear it, people listen to this, people go to their broker and go, no, listen, these guys think of also how when we're doing Brick Talk, then one of the things that came up all the time, like we would talk about things, I would say things way in advance and say we expect XYZ to happen. And then months later, maybe sometimes even though we're talking years later, XYZ
yes.
does happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens in a way that we say it happen and what we expect to happen, or we say happen, especially things that sounded crazy then happen. It kind of hard now to tell the same customer who you told last month, say, yo, don't listen, not everybody on those guys on social media, blah, blah. It kind of hard because, yo, it did go.
Oh, did know. Oh, did
Yeah.
know.
All one did know, right? I said, listen, it might be buck-ups, but then it happened again next week. It happened the week after that. It happened again. And then, okay, cool. Then it's the next year, and it's still happening in the way that them say, and it's not just good. We also talk about things that we don't expect to rise. So we sometimes we speak against the grain. Everybody love this. No. I don't. I mean, I'm so proud, even though I don't know the Ari Williams guy, but the guy I know the guy and his sister, and then do them distribution company. Them start as a pharmacy. Them in Spain, Spanish town. Them do them thing. Them touring the thing around. Then get them company listed on the stock market. I'm proud of them. I'm happy. I don't know them, but I'm proud to see But I'm also putting my money there at a dollar because I know that it won't be a dollar for very long and it's gonna be down in the dot. God, it's gonna be down, right? Is anybody listening 5, 6 months ago? Anybody who listened to that that limitless episode might be asking, yo, how do you know 40 cents? How do you know say that 40 cents? And of course, there's a must in the do it. So obviously, the obvious answer is that I take all my money and I bought it myself and then I sold it down
You
cheaply.
lose the money so you can prove the point.
What?
Yeah, yeah. So I lost millions of dollars just to prove a point, right? But if you don't believe that that's true, and obviously that's not true, if you don't believe that that's true, then how could you know? How did you know that this would happen, right? And again, and if you're running a house and you are having to deal with an increasingly sophisticated retail investor base, it might be easier for you to just leg out the thing, leg out the advisory. Because bear this in mind, you can't tell the customer say we don't give advice, you know. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
literally on it's on the tin, it's on the FSC documents. It's what you are literally licensed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You are, and when I come to you as a customer, I come to you for you to do it for me. And that maturing market, that's nothing like a new thing. That's a part of a maturing market is admitting it. It is like what Daniel was saying earlier talking about the US market. On the US market, it can't you can't expect that you're talking to your advisor about what to buy and then tell you, oh, we don't know, or oh, we don't give advice. Some brokers do, and what they do, they do the same thing. Listen, we handle stuff. We are a middleman for a broker. We handle maybe corporate clients, but we don't do retail advice. Maybe you want to talk to Schwab or blah blah blah, right? And so they push it off, and that's kind of what our market has been doing to some brokers. Shay pointed it out. I see somebody on YouTube, one coco point out on YouTube the same thing. They say they don't you're not an advisor anymore. It's called a sales rep, or sometimes they call it like they don't say a wealth advisor. Some people say wealth advisor, which is different from
No man, them
No,
take
wealth
out
advice.
the advisor. The word advisor is no
is
longer a
legal.
part of the
No, no, no,
title
no, no.
anymore.
Wealth advice. I don't. Is it legal? I don't know if it's a legal term, but I know it.
Yeah,
I
no
don't
man,
think
advisor
we've had this
under the law.
one time.
The word advisor is the
Yeah,
important thing
man,
under the
they've
law.
Advisor.
taken that out
So,
entirely.
but
Is
the thing I realized
is
nobody says
what
but
caught
you
my
don't really call
eye.
it investment advisor, which is what is in the legal document, which is in the legal, it's in the law. They call it wealth
Both
advisor, and that's also like the insurance people. So what I'm sure insurance people have been called wealth advisor before.
they both well they can because insurance companies also are all linked to
Yeah.
brokerage houses, so they're under the same
No,
license. And they say
they aren't.
investment ad
Listen,
uh-huh. No,
if
hold on.
if no, I mean, suppose I only sell insurance.
Then you're an investment
Still,
advisor.
No, no, you're insurance salesman, insurance advisor.
No, remember that investment advisor, sorry, remember
I
that
mean,
insurance advisors are also licensed, you know. They do have to get licensed
Yeah,
also.
yeah, continue.
I mean,
But,
yeah,
So so
technically they're
so
advising you on.
they are covered. There's a section I
it's why
mentally going through
advice.
the law, the act.
It's all advice, but we're not actually keying into the actual legal thing.
But here's the thing: those two words carry legal weight,
Yes.
and those two words together carry legal weight. And the
Mm-hmm.
word advisor also carries legal weight. No, I can say wealth advisor instead of investment advisor, and still be an investment
But
advisor,
then,
and
and,
still do investment advice. And wealth kind of sound nicer. I
yeah,
don't know, you don't do that, Danai. Others are just
Some
investment advisors. You're a wealth
well,
advisor. Yeah,
rich
right?
from your client, rich in spirit.
Exactly. But no, if you start facing pressure now as somebody who you are expecting to give me the wealth, you're not giving me the wealth. The advisor part will have the legal ramifications. The wealth part have the social ramifications. You're not actually increasing my wealth. So we do. Drop the two of them. Yeah, we still have the license. Yes, we still actually do give advice in a certain way to certain clients. But for the most part, this is increasingly, you get 100 grand from your granny. I know you want me to spend 20 minutes explaining why separate must go up to you. And I have
No,
you saw the line of people behind you. I don't have time for that to hear what. You
nobody.
start making one or two decisions. You go, one, we're not investment advisors anymore. We'll call it something else. Or if, financial guidance rep or whatever. And two,
but they man like partner,
yeah,
financial
man.
something,
Yeah,
partner,
they'll
something.
use
You
all
know,
kind of little terms. Yeah, but they're still advisors in many ways because they're under the company's license. But two,
Mm.
we will move away from that. And you've seen our brokers move away from it in various different ways. From the hair
Mm-hmm.
wall, if you have less than Shay, that was your tweet I saw
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
If you
saying,
that
have this
was
account,
me.
yeah, that if they have less than a million, yeah, we're not doing it. And that's a practical thing, you know.
get day trader and don't talk to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's a practical thing. It's like, yo, listen,
Mm-hmm.
you and I have no problems with any retail, any regular person like you and me doing this. I could have $1 have when I'm sitting in front of you asking about how I must invest my dollar. I need my money. I need everything I can get. I need my money's worth. I need you to be treating me like
That will come with
Uncle
two.
Michael. Yeah, man. However, the reality is, if I did that for an hour with you, half an hour with you, 45 minutes with you, and you saw how long the line out there was, I can't do that for 45 minutes with everybody. But everybody comes in here expecting it, and everybody deserves it. So you're what? We don't do advice no more.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
Problem solved.
You have
Yeah,
this
man.
high net worth, you have a high net worth client list, say become only those guys are advisors.
Yeah, man. And so what them do know is yeah, if you don't, and they make it very plain. Some places you need 1 million to get an account. Other places you need more than a million to get an account. And in some places doing the hybrid, you don't necessarily need a million to get the account, but to get that sort of level of service, you need to have a certain level of money. And it's a practical thing because if I have 20 reps on the floor at my branches, that those 20 reps can give eight, let's say they're working 6 hours out of the day in terms of facing customers. 20 times I'll do it by five because that's easy. That's 100 customers that the 20 of them can hit if you multiply it by five in one go, right? And if two of those are long, meaning customers that the conversation go longer for, it take longer, if you go a little deeper, you kind of get joke. We can't do it now. If you're 20 reps across the island, see 5 people, that's 100 people in a day. But if you have 300 people coming to you today, that's 200 disgruntled customers.
The thing I think about is how do you do it? Like imagine you have a house.
Uh,
And,
no, go ahead and then let me see how far I want to get the answer to because
I,
that's free
sorry.
consultancy. No, go.
No, yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah, you have a house.
Mm-hmm,
You know, you know what I'm saying you, but this is me now. Always, it is. I know what I would say in certain scenarios. Well, how do I get this employee to take? So this person comes in, he has different
mm-hmm.
ideas of the market from you. Like, how comfortable are you saying, yeah, that guy should tell you what to do? And how do you get that comfort even? It's like imagine Chris Berry saying, "I know what I would buy with this stock, with this, but I have a bag of people downstairs
Mm-hmm.
on the sales floor, and they're not hearing from me what to do with a $1 million account. I want 20% in a year. I think that I want investing for them pension, but them have decided on their own, and they might come to different conclusions than me, and their conclusions might just be wrong more often and way more often than I'll be comfortable with. How do you get that point? How do you get up and say that guy should advise in portfolios on my behalf?
What you do is, I think what you do is you do one or two things. One, you do what they started with their step one.
Mm-hmm.
So now the person's on the floor, you're not really giving advice. Our research department handles it, and we have our list from the research department, and we have the points from the research department. And really, you on the floor, your job is to repeat what the research department is, which is why I just lean on the research department. If you pressure me too much, refer them to the research department. Tell them to send an email here, tell them to call here. But I can't do it because your job really is you're a teller or you're a customer service rep, right? Nothing wrong with that. It's organization. That's how you manage your organization. And
Mm-hmm.
then you can do the other thing, kind of like what Mayberry did. That's why MJE. You hear Chris Berry say, one stock. If you want one stock, let me do the thing. Let me do the hard part, and you put your money in MJE. And when MJE wins, all shareholders of MJE win. So
Mm-hmm.
trust me to do that, right? That's one other. So that's the other two ways along which I think you can go majorly, and then that's for step one. Then we go step two where that shit way.
I
Well, we
that.
don't do advice. Yeah, we don't
But
do
I
advice.
still want. I don't know. Maybe it's magic. Maybe.
No, there's solutions. There's step three and step four. Yeah, you should.
Getting there is a hard road in my mind, right?
Well, getting there is to get the brokers to see it. So like, if, how can I say? 'Cause, it's not like I want you to make less money. I want you to make more money. I don't understand why a brokerage wouldn't have already approached you about like you do advice and you obviously have customers who you've helped and like same thing for my money, JA. You can we have scale. You can actually give a bespoke experience to a large swathe of people via tech, right? But at the core of it, you still need people who know what they're doing. You still need people who know what I'm talking about. You still need people who know that they're predicting profit on the market. And these things are non-negotiable. In my view, coming from the retail perspective, non-negotiable. Now, if the reality is that, yo, you're saying that I have to have people who know what they're talking about and not sound good or have the qualifications, know what they're actually talking about, right? Like, but when one of the things I was saying last month was how my expectations for Spur Tree to have a little bit of a rise coming up to this month. I don't have no degree from anywhere that tells me that I knew that Spur Tree was going to give me the percentage gains that it would this month.
Well,
I just had an understanding of the market, a real understanding of how the core thing actually works, and so said, so done. Now, if I am running a house and I have to make the decision between somebody who sound good but don't really know, and they're gonna be dealing with my customers, or their decisions are gonna affect my customers, or somebody who they're not saying the same things like everybody else, but they're also not getting the results that everybody else getting. They're getting better results than everybody else, but they sound unorthodox. I have to make the decision. Do I go the unorthodox thing that gets me there? Or do I just say, yo, we don't do it? You
it's
know,
which money. Don't do
yes. Send,
Don't
yeah,
do it.
send
End
send
of
send your
story.
email. Yeah, send your email, and we will put it on this list, and you'll see what our research department. And you can send the thing in, but you know what that does? That leads to a set of frustrated customers who then realize what you're saying without saying. Yo, we can't really deal with it and no want too
Yeah,
much.
you're there for your one.
Yeah, yeah. And what I think that means is that pain point, a pain point is just a business need being unfilled. It means that there's a space in the market for a player or players who are willing to fill that space. That's the simple truth. Who are willing to take on that level of risk and offer that sort of experience. And as a result, it naturally also has to cost more than as one person. My money J can help him with scale, but there's still a limit to how many people he can give a certain level of service to. So there's more room for more than eyes.
Mhm.
That's just a simple truth, right? And that when that happens, that will be the more mature market.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but it take a while to get there, and there's a lot of noise along the way. But
growing pains.
yeah, yep. The
We
public bonds is the same thing.
think we'd be here, so it shall always happen.
Exactly. And there'll be way, places we get to that we never thought that we'd get to, and when we get there, we'll be like, wow. Cause yeah, look at it.
It's like it's funny. Like I mean, saying podcast, Matthew, and things. As people ask me, why you think about doing this? Huh? And one of the things I was thinking about just now was how I used to look at to ask me why, just curiosity, ambition starts. I want to go, interesting.
Mhm.
It's look at who is licensed. I always laugh to myself and say, yo, these maybe all those other brokers, they don't have the license, but the only the three investment dealers that are a single person, individual investment dealer,
Mhm.
and two of them are Mayberry, two of them are Chris and Mark, two of the three are Chris and Mark. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
so why
yeah.
the else not have nothing then? And
Okay.
advise all these guys, nobody I know in the space. I know one name in the space. At the time I knew of one name. It was Wayne Ray because he did it back in the day. Cable and
Mhm.
what. But
Still around? No, I mean, see him still. Wayne Ray is what chairman
oh yes,
of
I was thinking that too.
Energy,
Mm-hmm.
chairman of Energy. Yeah.
Yep,
So
yep.
and other things. He's on a couple other boards.
Mm-hmm. But it's
Yeah.
just a thought kept just, oh, nobody's doing this. Why nobody think that? Why only two dealers? Why three dealers only? You know. So yeah,
Mhm.
quite an. So just prefacing that and where we are now. I remember when QWI come to market, listing and all, and I think it was before or after that, not QWI, yes, John T. QWI, and my food got the thing there, got the advisor license. Was it
The
before or after
license.
the listing of QWI? But I
I
remember, it's the I can't remember if it was before or after. But I remember when we were just me randomly checking and saying, "Oh, wait there," because we know they was in the pipeline for a long time, and then finally it comes. You could have, I think, and then finally, was it before or after?
I remember seeing it after, but I don't know if it happened after. But I do remember seeing it afterwards. Either way, it's a good. It's
Mhm.
also a good example of
Maturity, market
the
growth,
maturity. Yeah, yeah,
more niches
yeah,
in build out, more people doing different things.
yeah. Yeah. But for me, you have to hit the people for it to really
Mm-hmm.
be growing. When the services hit the people, that's when it comes out. Some of the points I'd make, but as I said, guys, anybody want join our rantings this week, send a speaking request, and I would love to hear what you guys think about it too. And I will, like I said, I'll give 5% off the next grower, either the one tomorrow or if you want to the one in September, for each of the elements in the image that you get right. So if you come on Twitter, you have to go on Twitter, hit the center speaking request button, and I will do it. And if nobody does it, I don't mind saving the money, so it's fine. But yeah, another one of the things is the build out of new markets, right? Or also, well, new markets, but it's not like it's new markets with new products, right? So let's say like crypto and crypto markets. A couple years ago, everybody was crypto crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Crypto was a new product, and of course, the JC was open to. Be careful, JC wasn't said earlier, but they were open to um, facilitating that somehow, right? The whole blockchain movement. Uh, that's like a new product, new market. But we have other old products that we have no markets for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as we get as we get the markets, I think a lot more will happen. Build it and they will come. Uh, so like the bond market. Now we have 14 listed bonds. Listed that build it and they will come. If you asked, which many of us did, including us back then, they tell you, oh, we don't have the market for that. But we have a lot of bonds, so why would we not have?
Of the market for
Like, yeah, nothing has changed. All the market does is afford investors an opportunity
to
to
participate.
buy in later than the initial point or to sell earlier than
Mm-hmm.
the maturity point. So my maturity come now, I need the money now and I don't want to wait the rest of the 5 years and I'm willing to sell now. And as we see, that has been happening. So, some of the bonds, very interestingly, some of the bonds are
Trade it,
um,
trade it.
they're trading above par.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few of them actually are trading above par. And it's not a big above par, but that
But
is to
but
that.
that is, I mean, that is activity. That is,
Yeah.
I like what I used to say from the thing that it's over the counter situation. It's a calling. I want some bonds of 10,000 USD. What can I get?
Hmm.
Them tell you, oh, we have some for 9, 7, whatever, whatever. I will tell you whatever. We'll send you the papers so you can, look at the risk and all that. But
Hmm.
a lot of it, no, there was there's no market equaling it out in the sense of a queue is there. I can see what people are selling for. I can see if my sell going to be the more optimal sell because I'm fine getting out for below or above par, whatever it is.
Hmm.
Almost certainly, bro, you were getting that bond above par. That's just how it is. Like because I'm
Yeah.
calling it a man of it. I don't. In truth, I don't want to say anything. So give me for 103. But take it for 103. So I mean, you're doing right by a client, right? But that's another client too.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
another.
also kind of,
So I
yeah.
don't want to say anything. I would ask. I mean, I don't want to sound no way. That's what I'm holding on. Cause I don't want to say that it sounds like I'm saying something bad is happening because it's not. But the reality is you're not really seeing where a man can get up and say there's no strong selling or buying force that you can play in this sea. So the market is very asymmetric. It's I don't really know what I can get this for. In fact, I can hardly get it. So I have
Mm-hmm.
to take that price. That probably don't that probably won't work out for what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even I mean I said yeah buying for above par, but in truth I also don't know where which them buying. They just want to say I'm getting XYZ amount of money worth of this bond. And so they don't actually know them actual yield.
Exactly. But boy, I don't know.
It's par. I don't actually, that's not part of the conversation that they had, where I'm actually buying it. The fees, you don't really knock into what people said. I know this. I've seen
Mhm.
the ugly side of that before.
Yeah, because again, I think most people who buy into bonds, and speaking just in Jamaica
It
here
just
and from my circle, it's like them never buy into bonds. Them ask them say, "I have X amount of money,
what
what
we can.
must do with it?" Yeah, yeah, or something matured and a sharp rep, financial rep, contacting them and say, "Hey, you have this thing maturing next week Thursday, but we also have this thing for you and give you 5%." Oh, that sounds good, right? But you don't think about it, and that's it, and you go into it, and they put you in something that you're locked in for 10 years. I can't say they did something bad either, because you didn't have anything in mind for that money, and so they came to you with something in mind, and you said yes, and you went ahead, and that's assume that you didn't have that they don't have a discretionary agreement over your account where they can act on your behalf anyway. So you
Mm-hmm.
get put into something because you never know what you're doing anyway, right? You never have a direction, somebody found a direction for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it was. But now with the public market, it still is that way, but
Mm-hmm.
there's just another option.
Mm-hmm.
There's exit early if you want.
That will even it out. The more
Hmm.
people owning this, then the more people will have that unique, not unique, that quote unquote problem. It's no, hey, those more people will want to leave early. More people look at it and say, I've got what I want. Can I leave now?
Hmm.
What can I go sell this? Somebody come and say I can buy it. And
Hmm.
that's the market on both sides.
Exactly. And no, I don't have to say I want to sell it. Wait for the rep to call everybody else on them customer list to see if them can piece it up and sell it to them.
Mm-hmm.
You put it in. Somebody buy it, then buy it. And if somebody not biting at 102, try 101.
And
Why not?
when my client will need something for their money at some point, so it's there waiting. So yeah, like this guy selling, he put it up. Maybe go buy it, but I have another client coming month with some money, and they want one. So it will also
Exactly.
on the buy side. So that's the market. It doesn't start from boy we can't really get there because look at the US market, look at the US bond market, bro. It's so trade, so lively. We just can't.
Exactly.
We don't. We mean we don't have that here, and we need to put something in place for it to happen.
Exactly. Everybody wants to start at the top of the market. The more they want to build the house from the
Yeah.
roof first.
You
You,
know, you hear the aspiration of it, but then you don't. We ignore the path to that.
exactly. And the
It's
funny thing is,
market. It just come, bro.
when you
Just
provide, when
market. And imagine people saying, imagine what people are saying. We don't need that. Why we need a stock market?
mm.
Come and take
Well,
famine.
I don't know if people are saying that when the stock market. Why I don't know. That was in the 60s, so who
Famine.
knows? Yeah. But then you have spaces now.
Mm-hmm.
You have spaces now where because the market exists, eventually somebody will act on it. So think of like the bond market. There's currently no GOJ bonds
Mm-hmm.
traded on the public market, but
Possibilities.
almost certainly. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost certainly. It's been said. It's been said up to January this year. The Prime Minister said that they plan to do it. It's something I'm going to.
And that's a
That
post
that
traffic. We can't. Why we stock market? Why we have it for? Yeah? That's a post up there.
exactly. This Dr. Nigel Clark spoke about like the green bond market, and that's something that Jesse's been working on for a couple of years.
I
That's
mean,
the actual maturity of the market happening. Yo, some things though. One of the walls that I can't wait to fall is again, a lot, a lot has been put on, a
JC.
lot, a lot balances on JC and on investors not knowing better.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, why we don't have shorting when JC gonna bring short? Of course, there's some work that JC has to do if they want to give everybody like integrate into the platforms and all of that. But the truth is,
It's a broker situation.
it's exactly the bro.
JC doesn't broker investments. They're a platform.
Exactly. But the brokers, I think, know. Well, I think there are a few people at each of the brokers who actually know what's going on. And then you have everybody. Yeah, then you have, everybody has
But
is told a line. Maybe you don't know the details of it, blah, blah, blah.
super
Um,
that. Like, the last XYZ and a month and not go so.
exactly. So now the brokers, knowing that, are okay
Because me not take on
not
it.
pushing certain things, but then that's an opportunity. Because
Mm-hmm.
once the first broker, if anybody hungry enough as a broker to start actually offering options to their broader client base,
Bro,
they're probably gonna win.
as a broker. Just think about it. What bro? It's to me it's the next oh GK has a fund that's trading. You get me? You can package that into so many things and it becomes a nice squad, bro.
It
Because
is
I'll talk about it with you, specifically. I don't know just boy, there's certain people they can just do. Just they have a lot of power people. And a
yeah,
lot of money can be made that them just say, we now do that one day.
a multiplier, like a multiplier on the money. Like
Mm.
little, like yeah, let's say you have a 10 billion bond. I'm not saying that it's one to one, but let's say you have a 10 billion bond and the shorting comes in and you can imagine you have 10 billion worth of assets here. You can now have there's an opportunity for 10 billion worth of assets to be 20 or more billion worth of assets.
Mm-hmm. And
But if the broker is comfortable with the 10,
it adds the next layer to the market comes does more interest, even from the broker side. Like
mm-hmm,
if I'm offering this, then maybe I can do the next side sometime. I can there's a lot of things they can wiggle in and just that's just more trading. That's somebody else saying, yo, I don't believe in this stock. And I can act on
mm-hmm,
it. I believe in this stock, I can act on it in a different way.
mm-hmm.
My
And
God,
so and
more fees.
yeah, and less and there's less like no a market can really and truly crash and everybody lose money when you have
Then
options.
somebody, half of them get something because our next man go the next way. You will say, yeah,
Exactly.
the best thing ever. Next 10 years, X by in a year is going to be 10x, and a man said, I just don't agree with it, bro.
Yeah. And at the back end of that too, it's a safety mechanism that allows it actually in many ways encourages more long-term investing
Mm-hmm.
because I am more encouraged to keep a hold a set of shares, a set of assets for much longer if I can earn
Whether,
from the holding of the assets outside of the dividend. Like I could double my
mm-hmm.
dividend, I could have my dividend yield come in, and I could also have the fee that I get for somebody else, shorting my shares in this company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll sell the option on it as long as I get it back by the end of the year. Until
Mm-hmm.
then, I get paid that X amount of fee, and then the brokers eat a percentage of that fee,
Mm-hmm.
and the person who is making the bet with the option also has that there. So the contract is there, and it's a win-win. And so I maybe the share price would have dropped. If the share price dropped 8%, I sell 10% of my holdings in safety. But no, if I have that option contract on it, if I've loaned it all out, then the share price drop 8% at the early business. I might even buy
Nice.
more.
Just make some money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I might even buy more because I'm good because
Money.
I not yeah,
Money, same shares. I'm going to just
e-
buy
e-
them.
exactly. And I know if I was gonna hold it for 10 years, I get 10 years worth of dividends. No, I hold it for 10 years, I get 10 years worth of dividends. Plus I get some lending fees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, plus I get a personalized indicator for when people think this thing might go bad because the broker link me and said them want you have 10 million units and somebody's willing we
The
want
broker,
to borrow it from you.
nice then. It's an insurance contract.
Exactly.
Believe in your stock, but if anything goes the next way, you can earn from it. So do this.
Yeah.
Then XYZ every time. Work at all way you want to work it, but this is the level of insurance you have against your holdings falling.
Yep. I would say grow the country too. We
Mhm.
see, which is also like the micro market opportunity there. But if I into that, she is just talking and yapping, and I don't want to talk you out of the thing, you know. What do you think about this, and what questions I'd asked you
I
earlier?
don't know
And
if I think I think when you guys are talking about those possibilities, it puts a more positive light on maturing market for me. I was wondering because when you look at the description of maturing market or mature market, sorry,
Ah,
it sounds kind of dull.
no, yes,
Just like the
because of
textbook
the because what's your
definition. It sounds a little dull, and I was like, I'd probably be a little bit bored. But I guess
what's
borrowing
your
money, okay, fine.
type
But
of
then when you guys talk about the possibilities,
uh-huh.
then it doesn't sound as dull. A
It's
mature market kind of sounds kind of fun.
efficient market hypothesis, Shay? As the market gets more mature, then it becomes
Yeah.
more boring. That's the reality. It's the oh they say efficient, not much. It becomes more efficient, which means
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to.
Supposed to,
that's
yeah.
the thing. It's as I said, let's say efficient and mature are not the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Maturity doesn't necessarily mean the thing we call about actual efficiency of a market is
Mm-hmm.
prediction starts swinging less. I can more accurately predict things happening.
So
Less
True.
is
profit in profit in
prediction.
things. I have more people have more information about these things. Which I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
immediately when you said, "Is it harder to make more money in the U.S. market than thing there?" And I was laughing to myself saying, more the people I know that have been doing it on both sides said they'll say not really. It's not as it's harder. It's different. And we think of what you hear about U.S. market. Oh, you can get more information. It's just more out there. Companies tell you more. More news digging into it, and that's true. You can figure out more things about the company internally, but the profit's still there, right? It doesn't become it mature. So when they talk about it in here, boy, the mature market isn't necessarily the best thing. That's a lot of what they're saying. It's the market becomes more mature, certain so people suddenly become smart around the fact that they're predicting, and everybody's right now. So let's think there. Less money is made.
Yeah, but the reality though,
People are people.
yeah.
Yeah, people are people and people are different. I feel,
Uh,
and it goes back to something we say all the time where we can look at, three of us can look at same
the
stock
same
and see
information exactly.
and want three different things and be like,
Um,
yeah, this
it's
is
a big
probably
deal.
not
It's
this one,
the
and this one
one.
is the one for me. And Randy might say, maybe next year I'll touch this one.
Mhm.
So maybe
But
something
the
like
one
that. So
is a big deal because
even if there's more efficiency, I feel like there would still be
mhm,
differences in behavior,
mhm.
like trading behavior, investing behavior.
Because
I
when
don't.
Yeah,
you
I'm sorry, but I
really
don't really differentiate the two of them. There.
the thing we want out of the thing, out of whatever we're doing, whatever we're looking at, it changes our perspective. It sways us so heavily.
Mm-hmm.
Really want Transjamaica to be five by year end. So all the
uh,
positives that I hear about it will lead me to the conclusion that Transjamaica will be five by year end.
Uh, I didn't get that last part. What did you
yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah. So then I said Transjamaica is gonna be $5 by year end. But then why is your camera
I
blurry?
don't know. I don't.
Put your
I,
hand in front of it.
yeah, that's just white though.
I, and then come back. I don't know why it's not focusing on you.
I don't know. We try what.
That,
What? That's
I don't
that's
think it's.
very
I don't think there's something on it. I think
I know. I know. I know.
it's
Hold on.
not focusing.
The trick I've done is give it a white
I don't know.
night.
You can try turn it off and turn it back on, just
Yeah.
the camera. But yeah, you make a he makes a great point there about well, I want to finish off that trying to make a point that I blurry or not, it don't matter. But we
yes,
can hear you fine.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So the idea is because I really want Transformaker to be something to be
Hmm.
when I do all this research on this company, I just spend all this time. and it
Mhm.
sounds good. So then I'll quickly decide. So I'm reading the thing and whatever, and I'll quickly decide that what I want out of it trumps my ability to be objective.
Mm.
I ask myself, who I go buy transfer for $5? And I look at the queue and I see how much millions, and I know so if that million spent tomorrow, it's still gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same price. Who go buy so much of the thing to bring it there? And I can't
Mhm.
answer that question.
Ooh,
Yo, would you buy it at 5? You
that's
pause.
where,
You don't know if you want to say yeah, and then you realize if I buy it at 5, why would I say it at 5? And you don't want to say no because who the hell would I buy it at 5? That's my sale price. Why would anybody buy it at the price it's worth? You know, at the
mhm,
price that should be the
I
same.
think is the
Yeah,
selling price.
or no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and that part is 100% like the quickest way for maturity of the market. I think I found is for the investors to become more mature. It's that simple. Literally just for the investors to become more mature.
As you
And
were talking to, as you guys were talking, another thing that I thought about was
mhm,
the role of, I guess, financial literacy. Because you're saying maturing investor,
mhm,
and in my head, I'm like, okay, well, what's going to move this maturity along? And I thought about spending time in the market, which is very popular. Um, but you can be here and still not be learning anything. So there's that.
of
So
course, yeah.
actually learning about the market, learning about investing, the principles, of course. Um, and not, I think learning, it, so for a lot of people who I talk to about the market, I know probably for you guys, you can kind of tell where stocks are trading, whether or not you're looking at the market. So that's probably a part of the learning as well. And what the financial literacy, I guess, entails. It takes that in as well. But I think
Mhm.
that the maturing of the investor ways it's heavily influenced by how much you are learning from what you are doing and learning from, say, reading or practicing or whatever.
I'd
So
say I'd say
whatever,
practicing heavily.
education is key.
I'd say practicing heavily, not just yeah, obviously I'm biased out grow and I think people should do grow and grow is built to be a cheat code. It's built to help you get to a
Yeah,
better level of investment skills rather than doing it
yeah,
the
but you
hard
still
way.
have to do it.
Yeah, you still have to do it. And honestly, I mean, I did grow because even I do advanced grow now. I go, yo, what would I have wanted? So if I could go back in time, what would I be telling myself? If I yeah, if I could go back in time, what would I be telling myself? With what I know now, what would I have wanted to know back then? And that's literally how it go. But what I think about what the thing I want to know is, I mean, it's how do I make money? How do I make money on the market? How do I predict the making of money on the market and avoid the losing of money? And how do I understand what's going on? I think the core of any of these experiences for anybody, the maturity of the investors, is that they need to have a better understanding of what's going on, good, bad, or ugly, just what's going on. That is actually one of the great dangers of the whole heap of doom and gloom. Because if I don't know what's going on, and if I don't know what's going on over the house next door, and I hear a whole heap of noise, and then somebody jump over the fence, I'm saying, "Oh, going over them, say, boy, beer war, I'm gonna believe you. Even if I don't believe you, if something don't go so, what the Jamaican or the Jamaican think, oh, if it not
It
go so, it
nearly
near go
goes
so.
so.
Yeah, man, right?
Hmm.
You know what lie can build off of that? As we know, whole heap of lie build off of, them I think it near go so. So just tell them something, right? Lots of lies built off of things like that. It happened in the market too, but if you have an understanding of what's going on, the good can become great, and the bad can also be not so bad, can become good. Yeah, the things we talk about is, listen to the doom that was being poured on NCB Shea while you were looking at it as so much gold, right? Look on the doom that I wish I still saying it, please. A little more doom on Dolphin Cove, please.
Not enough
But
doom there, I say.
yeah, more doom needs to go on Dolphin Cove. But look how it can work. I see Tyrone of Kintyre. I said I create Kintyre just tweet and say we should talk about Kintyre
What's
from
going on?
29 cents to $29 ready because there's more to come. Hashtag forward. Tyrone,
Or
if you want, you come on and talk to the people about your company yourself. I don't know. I don't know. I'm really good at the market and I can see a lot of things for Kintyre. But even I, Mr. Optimistic investor, I'd be very hesitant to tell nobody about 29 cents. I see the 29 cents. I don't see the $29. Um, but yo, also, he knows more than we all here on the call know. So he may be seeing something that we don't know. And so for him, it's very, very obvious. So him, it's very, very obvious. And if it happened, oh my, I hope you remind me of this when it reached $29. Remember you'd laugh at 29 cents. And I'd be happy to laugh and say I was wrong. But yeah, that's also an example of a mature market where, yo, make no joke. I'll say this since Tara brought it up. I create as a company, and if it's the best company, but you can't fault Tyrone for ambition. You guys know how much years I've been a fan. That I know how much years I've been a fan of Tyrone. And you also, Shay, no longer be talking about Tyrone as a fan of what he's doing. Now, sometimes as a shareholder, and many times not, thankfully. But but either way, I believe in what I'm doing, and I want to see it, right? And if I see any good there, I will put my. If I see any chance, let me not say good. If I see any opportunity for me to profit, then I will
Yeah.
willingly invest my money in order to profit.
Mm.
And as he does. No, the point I'm making here, I create as a company. If I create was not listed over the last 6 years, it would have, in my view, would have dead. So that's also another example of the maturity of the market and how it impacts the country. Because the company is listed. I always say, I've been saying for years, a listed company is a very hard thing to kill.
yeah.
Yeah, man. You have to be
Mhm.
really stupid to kill a listed. You have to actually try hard. You have to put
Yeah,
in work.
I
Yeah,
try
you have to
hard.
put in. Yeah, you have to put work in to kill a listed company.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has a listed company, and he go through tough times, but it's still listed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things that have
Yeah,
been done with.
times companies on the market, bro.
Say that again.
That's a tough times companies on the G West.
What heap of tough time come very quietly.
Yeah,
Ooh, very very quietly, but yeah, what heap of tough time companies on the market.
but you know the headline thing, go, bro.
Hmm.
Someone like Tyrone make headlines, so it rough funny. But the truth
Yeah,
is,
man.
the other company just not spoken about because I don't know why they're not spoken about. But some
I
like
think,
it's not always good looking.
but
Just
GBS has been bad looking for a long
one
time.
time,
Almost from IPO.
yeah,
Almost from IPO. Yeah, from IPO till now.
that's on a dream.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Yeah, man. The GBS has been a terrible stock to own, and the company itself has not been that hot. You're
Mm-hmm.
right. I never remember it. Look at that.
But
2 years they made profit.
I remember like when we were doing
Terrible.
earnings season. I remember people too was coming every now and then we hear like a complaint about the US. And cost the broker, cost the company, cost the team, but
Hmm.
it wasn't it didn't become a big bonfire. It just somebody come out of the woodwork and say, boy, I bought that IPO and it's just not been great for me. And them
Yeah.
cost the broker, them cost who, whatever. Bridging went to an AGM the other day and he suggested that people that don't want that people that are not seeing a long term vision or whatever for a company that this round that they may sell the company and ruffled some feathers. He was labeled as uptown.
Ah, which, which agent was this? You can say?
Another strategy course select for them, man.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
oh, say people talk, boy, I don't know nothing, boy, bro. They don't know where to have your money, where to for reach, where you reach. But then see you, and anything come out their mouth,
Yeah, man.
done there. The man say, you
Yeah,
can't sell the share. So we learned today that, once upon a time, owning shares was uptown, right?
yeah,
Nowadays,
yeah.
that's uptown. Uptown maturing.
We democratize uptown. Well, yeah, you're right. G,
Why
because G was.
uptown?
Oh my God. Oh God.
Ah, oh.
You mentioned surgical select as an example of the maturing market too. I don't know how much I love it, but I know I will like some of what's being done. But
Mm-hmm. Even
uh,
outside the course like listed. And how long now me and you talk about why JC, why do I broker put together some indexes and put them out? And inside the course select funds did that.
mhm. I know that they look like well, I don't think we've officially spoken about it on here since long ago when I mentioned that, I felt bad about it. Like even before the break, I'd said I felt bad because I thought that they were going to delist it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know we have more. Do you say we have more clarity? Is there
Mm-hmm.
more clarity now?
More,
Uh,
more clarity since when? Since the document
since
out?
since even before the break. So now, so now I would say that,
What, we spoke about it before the break?
yeah, man,
No, I
long
mean
before the break.
spoke about Sagicor, but I think about the thing that the thing never happened. It wasn't on the board then.
It was on the board, and then since it come up now, for the unit trust conversion, for the conversion to a unit trust, which has passed, I passed last week. Um, what I'm hesitating is, like I'm 90. I'd like to say I'm 90% sure that they won't delist it. Meaning, well, they've spoken about listing the unit trust,
Unit trust.
yeah, and having it become a listed unit trust.
Mm-hmm.
Which and they have spoken about it from the perspective of it will allow them or afford them the opportunity to it will afford them the opportunity to buy the shares back at NAV,
Mm-hmm.
buy the shares back at NAV, net asset value or book value, which should hopefully please shareholders. Should please shareholders. It should allow shareholders to be able to get out at prices way above the share price. Like based on the last reported NAV from them, compared to the book value, compared to the share price, the share price, the NAV is 40% above, or 40 odd percent above the share price. So there's a massive bit of value there. And so they have spoken about the Select MD and Select F conversion along the lines of, oh,
Wow.
it's going to allow us
Yes,
to
this thing listed.
yeah.
Is this something I want every other unit trust companies?
I think they might have to actually. I think there's this FSC thing from a couple of
Yeah.
years ago that might force them to.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least the ones that are heavily owned by single parties who are
Mm-hmm.
also linked to the management companies of the unit trust. I'm going off memory, but something like that. Um, so it might happen. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how happy I am about it though.
About what?
But
Exactly. Which part?
yeah, yeah, I'm not fully formed on that idea. I'm happy. I'm happy that the unit trust conversion is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that it remains listed. And like I said, I'm 90% sure. They've spoken about it as if it's going to be listed. Obviously, they can't say it's going to be listed because it's not a sure thing. They have to
Mm-hmm.
apply to be on the market, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be. And then why I'm excited about it is because it's another sign of maturity of the market. The broadening of the market, it's another sign of the maturity of the market. The opportunity that the conversion is going to bring.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
this, I mean, opportunity for people. I can I can go on a unit trust as an option, and I don't go into the broker to do it.
Oh, I never even thought from that perspective. Wow.
So the thing I look at,
I never thought from that perspective at all.
you know what? Let me just start. Stop me if it's too far out. But I mentioned inside an article about it after the AGM. The article came out, and Sagicor mentioned that the people would be clients of Sagicor afterwards. So to me
Hmm.
is a bit of a problem, in my opinion. So I have a VM account. Do I, if I want to buy Sagicor unit trust as listed on the market from my J trader, do I
Mm.
have to think there? Do I have to have a Sagicor account or my VM account can buy it?
Well, if it's listed, his
Because,
list.
yeah, exactly.
Listed.
No, no, but okay, but being a unit trust holder
Yeah.
is being a unit trust holder is it speaks to owning shares in a unit trust. So it's still just shares. So
Uh-huh.
so if it's listed,
It should
then
be fine,
Mhm.
right? So why then if are you telling me that I'm no I'm going to become a Sagicor? And I don't think me becoming a Sagicor client, meaning that my information XYZ, I've filed on there for me, changes anything for my ownership in the trust. It just seemed good to me. To me, it's just Sagicor a good move for themselves. They have
mhm.
clients that they can sell products to.
I suspect I suspect I don't know, but I suspect that they made that clear because I suspect it's not. I suspect it's them be making it clear that I think you need to do that. You need to make it clear that you're now a customer. You're not. You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, hold on. If I have information, so that matters. I have information. You're a shareholder of this company, and you're a shareholder of the company that's being managed by Sagicor. So you're a client of Sagicor. Are you even actually a client of
Uh-huh.
Sagicor? Are you even actually a client of Sagicor? Am
Because no,
I? I'm.
I just have a VM account and shares in that. So
Yeah.
now you're changing the shares. And yes, typically for my Sagicor unit trust, I'd have to be a client of Sagicor there and sign up and do whatever. But no, I just had some. I had no relationship with that. And then no, what you telling me now? Do I have to have a Sagicor account and do all that? To me,
I
the time it should be no. Right?
Yeah, in fact, no, you say it. I never thought of that. No, you say it. I'm wondering why did they bother to say that? I'm sure there's some benefit. Well,
I mean,
this
to me,
I'm sure.
yeah, we get these guys to sign some paper, and they're not Sagicor. They'll get our emails. We'll tell them about the other things we do in house. You own a unit trust too, and just,
Yeah, but they always had that. They always had that by virtue of being.
no,
Did they always have it?
no, they didn't because the relationship Sagicor has the Sagicor as a manager company is not Sagicor as managers of. I don't have a direct owning shares in this public. Like, they manage the, but I'm not. I go to them and say, hey, here is my XYZ. I'm whatever, whatever. I'm a client of yours. You sell me these products.
Hmm.
You can push these
Yeah,
things.
you're right. Like I'm not a customer of Carreras just because I own Carrera shares.
So I expect that idea will be, it's a good sign of drive. But suppose I say no, I don't want to do that.
Well, you sell the shares before the conversion date,
That's
or suppose you can't sell the shares before the conversion date. Wow.
the shares idea. You can tell it.
No, suppose there
Cool.
isn't enough demand. So, suppose there just isn't enough demand. I know you want to sell it, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, suppose there just isn't enough demand.
Yep. And then I look at the list. It's listed. So as I said, when it's listed, and if it's listed on the market, I see a strategy core. Right? What? Nothing actually changed for the listed unit trust. If I buy something and the fund grows bigger from my push buying some money, because I'm not buying somebody else's units. So supposed to be doing like that, right? As unit trusts typically do. They're
Uh-huh.
managing that money in that trust, but they don't need my info. They don't need to actually be a client for my ownership in the trust to be managed by a strategy. I still don't need that relationship.
I never thought of that. Did they put anything else around it? Like why this is of any importance? Like why did they choose to tell us? Why did they say that? I
Uh,
think I want to
fine.
say that maybe there's a legal issue. Like you want to make it clear who the relationship and the responsibility. if there's any no, but your fiduciary responsibility hasn't changed. It's still between my broker and I. The fiduciary responsibility of the fund manager is not to me, it's to the fund,
Yeah.
or it's to me via the management of my fund, which I own a piece
Because
of.
with fun, I could have been making sure I don't have with you. I just make sure that this is the section I want when I. Suppose that was a key point, I think, in my investing in.
Hmm. That's actually interesting point. You have any idea why? Or any or why you think that they want to do it? I don't yeah, why you think they want to do it?
Bring people under. That's the thing I wonder about. I wonder if it's just in their mind how the process should go, so that's how they run it, or I'm echoing up right now, or they have an in, and then I think of that maybe just want to get more people under the inside the network. They have this list of shareholders already. What if I can get them in? They are own this, they own a unit trust. They have an account that owns a unit trust with me. I can more easily sell them all the other things I sell people.
Oh, there's no well,
And
that's
that's there. But that's the thing I want to say. Is it just that, or more?
So just
More
as
could it?
leads, then
I mean, what more could it be? That's the thing.
uh, uh yeah,
hmm.
that's weird though. That's kind of strange.
For them to specify, yeah,
I
that might
I
be a little.
right. I guess I'm coming off um the idea that everything that is said in in those documents kind of matters. You know,
It
like
was
they
in the
don't
article.
just put.
It was in the article. Period. It was not in the document. It was in an article and was said
Okay,
somebody from such.
okay.
But
So
if I have a link to the
not
article, I
an
look at it.
official.
That's what I'm trying to find.
Yeah, please.
Uh,
Yeah, 'cause is it one of those things in the article like it's like, hey, we want this to be made clear.
exactly that.
Hmm.
So I wonder if they're preempting the process when they do that, so that they know what they know that yes, we want to get the people under it. So
Hmm.
this is what we're saying about it. This is this, and so this is how we're gonna do it. And if I present it that way, then there will never be any complaints about it. There will not be any, or I can minimize that. This is part of the process. You have to do this. I know how these. That's how they typically works. So make it a process. Whatever it works out in our favor, and you don't know that I'm not presenting you. And I'm just telling you how this thing.
Hmm. Yeah, that's very interesting to me now that you say that's that I found that whole select MD thing. It's almost like there's almost like the company and the company insiders seem like they were almost waiting with bated breath for it to pass, even though they knew it would pass. But it's like I said,
Mhm.
it's the most bated breath AGM I've seen since MFS's.
Like I hope we don't do the wrong thing. And
Yeah, but like we just want this thing passed and get out of the way. We'll be trying to do something and just no hiccups. Like a bunch of people jobs and stuff riding on it, and it's a big plan. And I hope nobody don't give us it. Granted, we got to this tangent from me pointing out that the investor base, in some regards, has gotten a lot more savvy, a lot more mature. And so, like for Select MD, there was they got a lot of pressure at the AGMs. And so this whole conversion is being done ostensibly. It's being said that it's being done to help
to help.
investors, to allow him to exit at NAV. And
I know every day.
it, I don't think every day is Christmas, and I don't believe, I don't doubt that there is some help there, but I also know a story
But
when I hear one. I
let's
can say
benefit first, right? Help you, help me.
exactly. Outside of the larger fees and the increased taxes, even with the larger fees and increased taxes, it still is beneficial to if it happened tomorrow with the share prices how they are and the NAV to share price gap how it is, there is still some amount of benefit there for an investor. So I don't mind it. And if it remains listed, I don't mind it. And it does broaden
Bro, in the
the
market.
options for profit on the market. I don't have to like everything on the market. I hate APOs,
I don't need options
but
in
they are on the
in more
market.
ways. Exactly. There are things there that maybe work out in the future. I'm looking at this, and if you have 100 things and you have 101, then that's just one more option. When I may never buy, I may never get up and look at it and say, "Yo, profitable," but then I might just look at it one day and say, "Yo, I know that this company is doing this thing or whatever, and the nav will be better there." Then I might just make a move there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can say that. I mean, I have made a well, I haven't made a move there. I do own shares, but I've owned shares in both of them. If you want to still some of the old episodes, you can hear why. You can hear why I do and what I'm waiting for. And when it happens, I will repeat that. Hey, remember I did say this.
Mm-hmm.
Appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, why not? That's also that's also a useful thing. The
Also,
point behind that.
this
So
also, no, you don't.
no, go ahead then. I want to hear you saying. I'll
This
remember
also
my point.
helps that in a way, right?
It also what?
Helps that in a way, because if you own at a time when it wasn't trading on now, when it was and it was cheaper than now, when you had those stocks in your buy, and then no, so say the event happens while it's not trading on now, then you say right about the amount of profit, but maybe it never go to the NAV by that point. No, so the event happened and the NAV is better while you own while it's trading on NAV, you already get that jump. There's just a lot of things there that does, more profit,
Yeah, more options for profit
more options.
are coming from this thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I lied. I said I'd remember it and I already forget it. So I looking
Also,
at the article. It said,
imagine you see NCB, like imagine NCB making a move to 200, right? Are you predict you're on Shareholder in him again and PEG? So, yo, NCB is going 200. See?
mm-hmm.
You and the queue set a certain way, meaning everybody pulled in order. You can't trade today based on that's beyond the circuit breaker point because everybody else decided to go. So you have to buy tomorrow. Just really unlikely that you can really get the move you want because you want to buy it to sit. I want to and throw them out, but immediately I want to calculate to make sure I'm right. But say you want to buy it at 70. You want to buy it at 70. You don't want to buy it at 100. And everything pull up. 100 alone left. Catch it at 100. So, boy, that's a next week. That's Friday time. But you also, then you look at select and you say, yo, if I now I'm moving up on that thing happening and I can get selected cheap relative to where I think it's going to be based on the night when I work out. Something can go on. It's the same thing we said way back when. Oh, I have more than options to buy NCB. I have more options to buy within the market, marketing, manufacturing sector, financial sector, that are doing something. If I see them doing something, must reflect on that fund in some way. And then know if it's now, and so the nav will go up because it's happening, well, option. You can buy select MD and benefit from that. Still predict though, guys. Still predict.
That's the annoying thing, right? None of this really removes the
Yeah.
requirement to predict.
That's what people run into every time. It's I
Mm.
want the easier path. I want the market to be as easy as possible. It happens. It just doesn't get easy. It doesn't get to the point where I'm operating and know how everything goes. That's called insider trading. And even then, right? even then,
Even then,
that doesn't tell you about the thing that's happening, but they can't tell you which price to go in the thing there.
yeah. That's one of the things when people talk to me about like what them. Oh, my friend work at XYZ. I said this. That's why I buy this.
Boy, if
And for me to explain to them that
your friend no stock price,
your friend have no clue what's going on.
Your friend know they might buy a company, they might buy more equipment, blah 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 blah. Your friend
Yeah,
does
man.
not know what price that is going to. In fact,
Yeah,
your friend probably will invest again to think about.
exactly. Or what happens a lot?
But you decide to him being all right.
Yeah, what happens a lot is them say a big number. a $600 million. Yeah, but okay, so what does that mean?
Yep.
Yeah, we're having a conversation in group also a couple of days ago. We are saying about Wisynco, and I actually laid out a long thread. I took 2 minutes, so I took 2 minutes and, and wrote out like my thoughts, what I expect happen with Wisynco. It's a repeating of the thoughts really around the whole them buying Select, not the Select we were talking about, people, the Select, the liquor distributor.
Brands.
Yeah, Select Brands, buying 30% of Select Brands and buying the ringtail bottlers, which is something I've been waiting for a long time. Then but I ask, uh, I won't ask, on here. But yeah, the ringtail move, and I was saying that I don't know that. Well, it's a great move, but I shouldn't say I don't know it's a great move. It is a great move.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. We think there's no question about Wisynco's pedigree. Um, But Cinco is a $19 to $22 share price company for the past 5 years, and it will like so Cinco not blowing up just like that off nothing, but it might. I'm not saying no. And then I went to certain little details with the group that I won't go into that here because again, those people pay me. I have to make sure that everything is good for them. But what I wanted to say was one of the points was around how it helps with Cinco's export market and how big a deal that is. And somebody's talking to me about something. And we had some numbers, and one of the numbers that came up was like, I said, let's say half a billion. Let's say half a billion in profit in the first year, just from them. I don't think that will happen by the way, but let's say half a billion in profit in the first year from operational profits from that arm. $500 million, not in revenue, in profit. So let's say them have, if you put in them at, let's say they're at 2%. I was playing devil's advocate and saying 500 million in profit 500 million in profit with a 2% net profit yield. Yeah, they're saying yield. I can't stop thinking about it from a yield perspective. Net profit margin. And that is what? That is I feel like is that 25 billion? Then you know the math best. Is that 25 billion or it's not 2.5, it's 25 billion, right?
Hold on. Show me what you're showing me.
2%, 500 million as a 2% net profit margin. So 500 million in profits.
Mm-hmm. And your margin is 500 million is 2.2% of the thing.
Yeah.
So multiply by 50.
no,
5 billion.
no, you're right. That's such a multiply by 50.
Mhm.
To you, that's like breathing. To people who afraid of maths, what you just did is just magical. It's magical. Which I also doesn't answer my question, but you weren't wrong with what you just said. Wow, wow. Anyway, so yeah, 2.5, 25, not 2.5. That's right, 25 billion in revenue, 5 500 million in profit. Again, so people can hear me, these are made up numbers that's from a hypothetical conversation that I was having privately. Then I said to them, what does 500 million in new profit look like on Wisynco's existing profit numbers? Everybody lost. Everybody never lost. So the person I talked to is like, they hadn't necessarily thought about it from that perspective, right?
Mhm.
Um, and that's where the game kind of gets into the place where we play, where 500 million in the first year sounds great. In fact, like, I could see Wisynco saying that's tripling our export profits or profit from exports. 300% increase. Again, sounds or yeah, 300% sounds great, and it is great. But then when you think about what Wisynco is, like when you think about what Wisynco is, and
Simple question. How much are making an export?
exactly.
I think the 300% off. How much is that actually?
Exactly. So when the second I said the 500 million, I'm trying to show it, but my screen not working with me at all. I don't know why. Give me a second. I know what to do to make it show. just because I want to make the point. But yeah, the 500 million in profit for Wisynco, 500 million in extra profit for Wisynco. I don't know if it registers.
Wait.
Meaning
500 million. Did you 500 million is the profit they make?
none of these numbers are stated by the company. So this is I was just trying to show them something.
Yeah,
I
man. But
saying let
say if they make extra, not double in the profit.
I'm saying imagine if the addition of select brands
Mm-hmm.
gives them 500 million in net profit.
And they were making
500 million extra. So
how much
on
were they
top. So
making before?
exactly. So you're already thinking the same way I'm thinking. So the point I was making here is that you talk to your brethren who work out with
Oh,
Sync and them say, yeah, 500 million more coming in and so buy. And I'm not saying to buy or not to buy. I'm not even saying it's a bad buy, but I'm talking about the basis on which a decision is made. Yeah. So when them say, boy, yeah, we think great and yada yada yada. I'm not saying it's not great. It is great. But then they're saying that they're expecting you to have. There we go. It's back now. At least I think it's back. I don't know where it went. Like I have the point, but it is a much more effective point. There we go. It's a much more effective point when shown. Whew. All right. Yeah. So 500 million on Wisynco's existing profit is I think existing profit for Wisynco is something like 4 billion. So extra 500 million, nice, But
mhm.
yeah, last year Wisynco's profit was 4.1 billion. So
That's
extra point 0.5.
eight,
So they'd move from 4.1 billion to 4.6
six.
billion.
Are you excited?
How excited are you? And that's a massive increase. That's a
Mhm.
12%, roughly 12% increase in profit. Massive increase in the world of Wisynco. In this best case,
Mhm.
one-off scenario, or not one-off, but made up scenario or hypothetical scenario.
The
Doesn't
journey
if I
it's steps wrong, eh?
yeah,
Like what big to you, like the 500 million that you know would have changed your life, not change the single. Or change
exactly.
not to the degree that changed my life. Like, the fact it's not 500 million in my pocket.
Exactly. Exactly. And also what the funny thing is the 500 million that's so big to you is not even really big to you
Mhm.
because it's big to you when we're talking about 500 million.
Mhm.
And the person I was talking to understood this, but I'm talking through them to everybody who's listening
But
to and get it.
tell me your piece, what are we seeing your own? Not all of
Not
it.
even not even that, not even the owner. If 500 million sound great and massive when you say 500 million, half a billion. But it don't sound that great when you say 4.6 billion. You're excited about it when you say 500 million. You're not so excited when you say 4.1 to 4.6.
6. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
So you don't really care about the 500 million either. You don't care
mhm.
about the 500 million. Um, you don't care about the 500 million in a real way when
Mhm.
it's put that way. You just care about it in the 500 million. But I know people who have I've over the years, how much time somebody invests because I have a friend who work at XYZ and them say something is gonna be big and they put a big number behind it. Where's if my seat? If I saw some of the numbers, or I stamp some of the number and the big number send them into something that they end up regretting. Um, yeah, and again, that's not
Boy, that, I mean, nothing, bro. Like, think about the cases of all them get an outside contract. So it's not in a listed company side. You work at a place, friend work at a place that get the contract for the listed company. So
mhm,
you see it and you're like, so you don't really you know not about the listed company. But said this contract gonna just work with it. It's a big deal for your company.
mhm.
It's a big deal for your friend company. Friend all say, yo, man, let's forget bonus out here. So you say, wait there. Like so this is big. Like, your
Yeah,
friend excited, you excited that not even not and at least the company is excited. It's really excited.
of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, if I was running with Sync and I do something and it bring in an extra half billion of profit, you can't talk to me.
straight up.
Yeah, that's massive. But that share price don't really move from this nice little band here. There's a nice little band of 21, 25. But yeah, so that's one of the examples of the maturity that the market, a maturing market needs from the side of the investor, which is
Con-
needing to say that again?
context.
Yeah, man, that context and understanding and understanding of what's going on, which is how
Mhm.
we started on this whole long line. Yeah, an understanding of what's going on. And it makes a world of difference. It helps people so much when they understand what's going on. And then, it's not about being an expert or even feeling like an expert. And I think I was saying today, the group was like, yo, you never ever really feel like an expert.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, don't think that there's any point where the doubt leaves. Every time before you click buy, there's some
You
fear.
know how much you don't know. You don't know what you don't, but you
Hmm.
know that you don't have a full picture. The person hearing how the trades, you must know everything, bro. Like people have more confidence in what you're doing now than than think, because you know said this don't really, this might not work out how I want it to. This thing no,
Hmm.
probably don't actually go how the guy in the company. It sounds sunshine and roses when the first two reports come out, but them can sell again like next quarter. Sell again like for the thing there for rest of this year. My dividends can come out how I want them to. You know those. You know what you're looking at as this can go wrong. You know, somebody, some. I might even get it right on the analysis part and I look at things there, but people don't care enough because there's other thing happening. And you know when it say this might not work out how I want it to. But when you know when you were right, so good at another thing there. Next man I go say, yeah, Randy, bet the trade for me more for buy, whatever. Because as far as me, Randy get this thing right so often. So he must can do it every single time. If can take on my responsibility from it even.
Yeah. Or be my confidence in the thing.
Yeah, yo, I'm buying this because Randy said he did a buy it too. No, Randy didn't tell you
No,
so.
no, no,
Because Randy
no.
don't say, even though Randy don't say, oh, and that's the thing. We can have a conversation around the thing, and if people do that, they want to leave with the thing they want to hear from the conversation.
Yeah, man.
They don't hear it out. They don't. And you factor your doubts when you're making the trade. They don't factor your doubts when you're making the trade. So
Yeah.
they don't know what to look out for. So 2 months down the line, when the thing you're looking out for kind of crap, kind of they're gone.
Or,
You
or,
conversation again because that wasn't the conversation you were having actually.
mm-hmm.
We're talking about the thing happening and your thoughts around it. Sometimes you even say what can go wrong and you not hear that, bro.
They don't want to hear it. Even
You
all the time, even on here, they don't
don't
want to
mute,
hear it.
but I thought.
They don't want to hear it. Yeah. And so I've gone as far because we've been doing this for long. I've gone as far as well, you've heard me ask people, yo, what exactly? This is oftentimes where people get waffly right up front because I ask them, what were my exact words?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how much emphasis I put into speaking carefully, especially as speaking on here. What were my exact words?
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll be interesting. Like when I spoke about Kintyre a while ago. Kintyre is a funny one. I know somebody was talking to me about Kintyre, and I'm like, what? Why are you under the impression that I dislike? At the time it was iCrate. I was like, why are you under the impression that I dislike iCrate? Like one of my favorite stocks. Then even that conversation, them here and them misinterpret.
Mm-hmm.
The misunderstanding between liking something, enjoying something, and putting my money behind something is something that I want more of our investors to get an understanding of. You have a shortcut in doing grow. Everymaker.com/GRWR. You do grow, it helps you to understand more about this thing. But if you're choosing to not do it with some people do that, right? It shows us to the people who are like, oh, I'm not spend 100 US. How much you investing? If I look at 3 million, let me get this straight. You don't want
You won't spend an understanding what to do with the 3 million. You just do it. You just
and you do want to hear what I have to say because
yeah,
I
yeah.
always,
I want to
I want it for free. That's true. Anyway, so that understanding of value is something that we need to get better. We have to get that understand, and that will help us to mature because it forces the market to mature. Like, make no mistake, the dropping of advisors from many houses the raising of the minimums to get an account at many houses recently, and I'm talking about a long time, recently, a lot of those things are a direct result of the increased maturity of the Jamaican investor base. It is a direct link between the two. Yo, some of the things that are said, think of how they used to lie. Look at the last tropical, the APO rollout. They buck shuffled, bumbled because yo, 10 years ago, 5 years ago it would have worked, 5 years ago it would have worked. Now people are asking all kind of questions and about APO and how am I gonna handle the debt and if you don't raise, I'm gonna blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is literally a direct result of the increased maturity of the current investor base, and it causes the market itself to become even more mature.
I think about when I think about tropical, not from the same basis, more from the we don't get all the money we want on all the plans from the APO.
Mm-hmm.
138.
Then soon rally back. This is somebody bring them share price up above the APO price, so I figure them soon rally back.
Yeah, sure, but unless they were buying, unless the company was buying the stock when it was low, they're not making money out of that. So the thing is, we did this, we raised the money, we didn't raise all we needed to do, all we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we cannot transform into the thing we said we're going to be. So raise again. It's made me think of trap. Yeah, you have this money to pay off, and you raise pay it off from the equity side, so it's not I don't owe nobody again.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't happen. You don't get all the money out. So now you have these things you took on, and yet you did not disappear because you don't have the magical APU button to press anymore. It's gone. You pressed already.
But maybe you do. As I said, maybe when I say rally back, maybe them
You
plan
are my boss.
to raise again.
Do it again.
Yeah, I mean, you can know it's not another side effect of the increasing the mature investor base is that we're not trying to get your money directly. We get it from your pension.
Mm-hmm.
Your pension will give you. Who knows how their pension is doing? Very, very, very few people know how their pension doing.
Yeah, funny to say pension in our discussion on the APU. GK pension they didn't buy.
Maybe them sort that out now. And like we just need an extra 2 mil. 2 bill. I see
You don't right? But do the deal.
yeah, the deal. Wait, sorry, say it again.
Some shares to
Yeah,
you know,
and the shares I have dividends on
you
them.
come from one. I'm saying if you're coming from one place, you wouldn't have APU. But if you need if you need more money than that one place, even then yeah, back again.
No, but if you're getting the money from anywhere, you don't have the APO, but you're going to choose the APO. Because what am I going to do then? Because the company wants the money.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do? I'm going a right issue?
Mm-hmm. No, you get this guy to buy shares. And you do that.
What you mean?
Oh,
Hold
you do.
on. Maybe I'm not hearing you properly. Sorry, hold on. Tell me the situation. So, like, we're in the situation. Let's
I
say we are.
I buy the debt
Mhm.
in a convertible fashion and convert.
Oh, it's a private APO.
Yeah,
I create
exactly.
or
After you do
yeah.
the
So it's the same thing.
you
Okay,
get
so
his wants to buy the APO, this person to buy it today.
but then what you do is you do like what I create. Oh, them knock tire run, but so many have followed.
Mm-hmm.
You have the raise event. You call it the APO. You have your partners that you already have the prearranged plan with the conversion the thing. And then you also the APO because who knows? Maybe somebody else will come in. Maybe another pension. Maybe they must have some pensions that will come in. One thing we know we're not going to do is we're not in a right issue. I mean that who that benefit? That benefit us. And it also benefit the retail. And it benefit our long-standing shareholders. But if we do it the other way, it benefit us. Yeah. So,
Almost.
yeah. So you have two ways, and we benefit both ways. But one way, just our people benefit. So I pick that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The maturing market is hopefully stopping that sort of thing. Or making it harder, making it more difficult to trick the people and causing them to do many lies. or what I call lies, quote unquote lies, where they don't lie, but they come very close to it. They say something that sounds a lot like it, or the thing changed. Going back to the Ari Williams, I saw the notice today from them, and the notice said they crave the at the laugh when I saw it. They crave the JSC's indulgence, maybe was it? The other side, like they crave the JSC's
But
indulgence in allowing them
do they think
the delay, yeah, the delay notice.
that died? I wouldn't say well.
I think it's the first time. I think maybe they're under overpressure. JC has also JC has also held the maturity of the market by the increase
In regulatory
regulatory side of the armor there. So maybe Ari Williams new to the market, them see what can happen, them look at other companies, some companies delisted. You can like Eddie Focal, quote unquote, young CEOs. So you look at Eddie Focal suspended. You don't want that for your company. So you're right in a way to make it so good. Yeah,
boss me, please.
please. Yeah. So the actual wording was so funny to me. The actual wording was I said it was on behalf of Ari Williams Limited, we acknowledge that the company's annual report for the year, yada, 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 was due today, August 28th. Unfortunately, we will not be able to meet this deadline as we continue to assiduous.
No,
I'm not laughing at it, but it's funny. It's like when you do something wrong in high school, first form, and then they say write the
right.
apology letter.
The big word, then, bro.
Yeah, man, you draw for every word. Unfortunately, we will not be able to meet this deadline as we continue to assiduously ensure that the report is completed with the utmost accuracy. We respectfully crave the indulgence of the exchange. We crave the indulgence of the exchange to grant an extension of 7 additional days in order to ensure. Do they think that do they think that the JC has to grant them?
That's why I say that's it doesn't, because they don't. So that's the thing I'm looking at. Oh, Jano, they feel pressure and say, oh, just
They,
please.
yeah, we respectfully crave the indulgence of the JSC to grant an extension of 7 additional days. And it's just 7 days. I like the energy. I like that this is literary groveling, in my view. And it's a corporation, so I don't mind. A corporation should grovel. But it's not to the JC, it's the shareholders that you
Yep,
lay.
yep, yep.
Yeah, it's not the JC, it's the shareholders. You see that is the thing. That's where the maturity needs to come into.
Mm-hmm. You're
You see how
talking
they wrote this?
to who you're talking to.
They're
Is is
they're
is, is you doing this
mhm.
for yourselves or the guys you this company? The
There
guys
is
that
no mention of the shareholders in this.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
As men need
We
him.
I don't think they didn't mean that bad way.
I
Because
know,
remember
no.
they're new to the market. I think they genuinely just not think they don't think about the shareholders that way. They're not thinking that that's a factor. We respectfully crave the indulgence of the exchange to grant an extension of additional days in order to ensure that the annual report is completed at the highest level of accuracy and in full compliance with the requirements of the exchange. The company remains committed to upholding the rules and standards of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. We thank you for your consideration. And that's from the CEO. No mention of the shareholders because in his mind or in their mind,
He's a compliant JC rule.
yeah, man. So JC's who have the power. So that's who you're grappling to. But it's the shareholders that matter. You put a notice to the JC that you'll be late, but you're asking your shareholder, you're craving the indulgence. I'm going to remember that for the rest of the year. You're craving indulgence of your shareholders, not the JC. Right? You can get
Branding.
delisted and you still have shareholders to answer to.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, that's a bit of a twist. What do you think about Shay when you read that stuff? Because I think maybe you think in the same way that like how most people think. They think of JC rules, JC companies listed on the JC, and so they need to ask JC to do something or JC need to do something. How you see this?
Mhm. So I was also looking at the fact that a lot of like some responsibility has to go to the shareholders. We're not even like speaking up or anything. So I'm wondering if they forget us because we allow them to forget us.
In a lot of ways, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So
In a lot of
I
ways,
thought
yes.
about that. Of course, they're wrong. Of course, it's not right, and it's kind of rude, for them to just completely ignore us. But a lot of people who get ignored are people who allow people to ignore them, and I mean this in a very real and practical way. I don't think I've never gone to an AGM like in person.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And not just that, but a lot of the people who would ask good questions probably don't even bother to ask questions at these meetings or whatever. So then I'm thinking how much of uh, retail being ignored should be placed at retail's feet. You know what I'm saying? That just
A
Oh,
lot
that's what I thought
of
about.
things. One, we have a base of, well, or immature. A lot of people just don't understand them rights. As they don't know they don't know what being a shareholder actually means.
Yeah, big up
What we
Randy for always
typically
I
think
talk
is
about that.
when we buy the stock, now buy the stock, we are do this thing to make our money, and I ignore the fact that for those for that week, for that day, for those 3 months, for that year, I own this company. Like, the company I'm certain like is not the guy that started the company alone
It's
now.
mine.
Have a mind too. So why him alone have stock? Like when they tell me say yo, yeah, things make up and give you this power. Yeah, so my five right? The thing I have grants me so much. The thing that grants me the collective right more than me is because it grants me the rights to the amount I own. And out of power, and we say I don't know. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people don't really know what that entails, and a lot of people, like you said, it's. I feel like I shouldn't ask big suit and tie CEO my concern. Why he doesn't have to care about my. He shouldn't care about my things. I'm a little man. I'm not uptown, so let's talk about it.
Mm-mm. I have something else I wanted to ask you guys. Same
yeah, man,
point.
go through. Yeah.
But did you guys see the Cygnus
Oh,
the
all
Cygnus
the press
thing
of it. That
where
thing there.
the vote couldn't happen because enough people
You know
didn't show
what?
up. Um, I wondered about it. I wonder, is it that people didn't know? Is it that people were just like, well, if I don't give them permission by even showing up, then they can't do it. Or like,
Not enough people form
I
a
don't
quorum.
know. What do you guys think?
Wait, go again. You're breaking out there.
She was saying, what do we think about
Yeah.
it? Sorry, then I didn't hear the last part of what you were saying just now.
Yeah, I was asking,
She,
did I think people just never show up because they never care, or because to me I figure just people that
Oh, I was just wondering what you think happened there. Is this just normal behavior, or like
I think, I don't know. You start then. I mean, I have thoughts on it too, but
thing
I
else
make you go
I
first.
think I saw was that they didn't have enough people to form a quorum for both meetings. So to me, it's a lot of the I don't even know who would be there because I'm not checking. Like when I see like the shareholders from ASC or whatever, I immediately a lot of people just don't see this,
Hmm.
especially it's perfect. Yo, bro, I have somebody call, I know called me shares, and then so it was a run through of do I keep them? So what would be the thought around that?
Sorry. You have somebody call you. What you said about preferentials?
I bought preference shares, signal preference shares, and she was
Oh, okay, okay.
wondering supposed to keep them in reality. And
Hmm.
the rest one was there's a new thing, serve the purpose you want, you're exactly looking for, whatever. So when I saw them, I was laughing. I was like, oh, but well, I guess they no longer. like the extensions look different now. And then I realized, wait, oh, she would have been one of the people that could have gone if she's okay
She,
with an extension or not.
or she could have voted via proxy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's I
Yeah,
don't know how these people
or online.
they see this message. 'Cause I know she doesn't see this message.
Hmm.
She just hear about it from whoever, and she knows that.
Mm-hmm.
So just click to her section for check with somebody about what to do with them.
Yeah, because again, she
Um,
probably just put her money there. So
Mm-hmm.
go ahead, Shay. When you do that, I just want to give anybody watching or listening, just even us too, some context around it, like what happened
yeah.
before. But go ahead, Shay.
I also thought about the fact that they called me, so and JMB called me,
Hmm.
cause I bought some shares that with some dividends that I got, and they called
Hmm.
me for those 5 shares. I was like, oh, okay. So I wondered if they didn't call, if they called other people and what they said, because what they said on the phone to me was complete garbage. But they at least told me that the meeting was happening,
Hmm. What
you
did
know.
they
So
tell
I'm
you?
just
What did they tell
wondering.
you? What did they tell you? 'Cause I'm sure what they told you, they told a bunch of other people too. What did they tell you?
They told me the meeting was happening. Thank you. I mean, I already knew, but you know what? Maybe most people are not checking JSC News and don't have the feed with all this stuff coming to their phone and all that.
Hmm.
Um, so good that they called. So they established that the meeting was happening. They told me what the meeting was for. But then when I was like, I didn't see in the document, another option for me, like if I want to go, if I don't want to be in this process and extend for longer than I even initially said I wanted to give you my money for.
And for lower, and for
So
lower.
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
for less, like you want to keep my money, number one, and you want to pay me less.
Hmm.
Uh, so you're going to keep it for way longer, 5 years instead of two, and pay me less money for more years. So I was asking about that, and he was like, "Well, you could just sell." I said, "What?
Which is true.
What? So, so what you're proposing is that in order for me to get back my money that you promised that if I
You
get
hope somebody buy
back in
what you want to sell it.
December, I should sell now and pay you a fee for selling after we already
Yeah.
talked about what now. You don't have to wait and telling them that you can't just sell now, you don't have to go through this whole thing with us. What? Don't. So anyways, maybe that's what they told a lot of people, that it's
I
cool, you
suspect
can
they
just
did.
sell.
I suspect they did tell a
You
lot of
can
people that,
just
and
sell,
it,
and
and it got through. Well, you know what I think
that
also?
bothered me even more. Made me want to go to the meeting even more.
I get you. All right, here's what that indicates to me. Remember earlier we were talking about how, 100 people in the line. We have 20 reps. Each rep can see five ways to finish it off. But there's another 100
Mm-hmm.
behind that, right? You think they hired people to make those signal calls?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I think it's people that work there. So somebody,
No.
somebody's job was to listen. We have
God have
3,000
you.
signals. Yeah, man. I will split the list up between these 10 people, and you can call all of them. Call all of them. I will go through it so that them know. That means that those people. There's no way you also when you're done this, you can go back out front and give nobody no advice on what they should have buy or sell. So no, cut that out. You can get a brokerage account, figure it out on your own. Good luck, right? Um, but then also in the case of signals here with this specific thing, they want to vary the terms. And it's not necessarily unusual, right? It's like it's coming to the end of life of the thing. And they're saying, hey, can we push it
Mm-hmm.
further? And we are giving you a lower bit of interest because
Like
overall,
without the hassle of it.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
no. Cygnus is still one of my favorite companies when it comes to how they talk to their shareholders. uh, Companies lie, in air quotes, CEOs lie. They lie the best. I love the business. I love how the thing does. I am actually a Cygnus shareholder, but I'm not like putting heavy money into Cygnus anytime soon. I do it. I do it at targeted times when I need to. When I think there's profit there. The quote unquote lie here is quote unquote lie, 'cause it's not really a lie. Under the law, they can't lie to us. What they're doing here is making it seem. I remember shout out to the trading link for it out that the Cygnus guys at the meeting made it seem like, we're helping you out instead of having the trouble
Right.
of doing a AGM all the time and having all these things. We're helping you out. We're helping you out. We're doing it for
This is
your,
for you.
yeah, it's for you. It's for you. um, and so I guess that when they did that, they came with that, and I don't know why they failed. I have a reason. I have a suspicion why they failed. But let's see what Danai thinks while I look that up.
Why
What do
they
you think
fail?
about the whole thing? No, no, I know we have a pretty good idea. They never had quorum. That's what they
Yeah,
said, right?
that's it. Why did people not go? I think a lot of people invite and are not really keen to hear whatever. Well, you say because a call shit. That's interesting.
Yeah,
That,
that's what I'm
no,
saying. I got a call.
my person got a call and that's why she's asking me. I'm almost certain. So people did hear about it. So why not go? Like
Would you go?
that's the problem. No, that's what
Yeah.
that's what I think. I just feel like it got without me or whatever. If I'm like
So it usually happens without us, right? But I
yeah,
think
Mm-hmm.
in this case,
without us, the people that go are enough.
in this case, they're not enough. In
They're not.
this case,
Yeah.
you remember this is Signals we're dealing with now. Remember the Signal SCI is a wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Like the greater Signals group not trying to own any large part of Signals.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel the preference shares are a lot like the same thing. Like we want your money to use it to do things that will give
Mm-hmm.
you a bit of a return after we done it plus fees and whatever. We're not trying to use
Just
our
let
money
us
to do
do
it.
it, man.
That's it. That. So I
No,
don't
but
think
because they don't use their money so much, they don't have the usual
you don't have
thing that
enough.
other companies have. Yeah.
I
So you
don't
see,
think
like select MD and select F.
actually I have exactly that. I've asked you guys to come in
y-
because
The
me
law
as
requires some amount of quorum. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And I guess they never hit enough for the big guys. But I don't know what the you see. I don't have the layout of the ownership
Yeah, that's
of the preference shares, but
Definitely thought about that as I was sitting there.
so
Very.
I have to check. I don't think that. I think it's because it's OPM and then also because it truly OPM other people's money because it truly is other people's money. And Cygnus is not like a lot of the other companies, right? Cygnus scrappy, so Cygnus not really wasting money. When them repopularize locally the term dry powder. When them get money, them using it. Them have things to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not really like a lot of other entities where they have a lot of legacy money sit down and yeah
mm-hmm.
man, just send this pension into it. Cygnus have 2 or 3 people have to ask them broker if hey, you think this would be good for your pension to do or blah blah blah, right? As a result, we may not have the quorum that we need. It's very funny because it then results in them not being able to do the restructuring, which they're
Mm-hmm.
such a financing
They're
they're obviously
they're
a
they're
finance No, go
they're
ahead, go ahead.
rescheduled.
They reschedule. You know what
Yeah,
that
they're
mean?
rescheduled.
You know
Um,
exactly that.
but my entire point for going to the meeting, I achieved that. So I don't even need to go to the next thing,
What?
So, but they did reschedule to the
So you're not going to
9th, I think, 9th of September.
so why you say do it
Because all I did want them to do is give me an out. That's all I wanted.
also
Oh,
basically she denying the quorum as possible for the next meeting.
Pardon?
You're denying him the quorum for the next meeting basically.
Oh
You're
no, I will do the voting fine, but I really don't care at this point if I have an out. I don't care.
well, here's the thing, Shay. If they don't get quorum, you get paid.
exactly.
You get
So you're
paid
Exactly. I
earlier.
get
You
quorum
get
paid
paid
earlier.
earlier. Yeah, yeah.
Wait.
go.
No, Randy, that's what I'm saying. What I went to the meeting for was to get paid either way. And that's what I
Oh, you're
came
voting
out with.
against and so now you say
So I'm
oh
good.
I don't care anymore. Having a meeting, don't have a meeting. I don't care.
So from the outside of it,
Have quorum and vote against your thing. I mean, in my opinion, that's interesting. Imagine they have quorum and the vote say no.
I
That would
would
be.
love that.
I don't.
That would be so
That's
awesome.
exactly.
But
I want to see
I
this happen.
don't
That's one of those
think
things, you know. It,
just
oh, yo, this is interesting. These things don't usually happen. I want to see that happen.
That's another
that
part of
that
of the mature market. Sorry, go ahead, Shay.
that that would be cool to happen, right? But based on the low turnout and the questions and stuff, I guess small discussions that happen at the meeting, I'm pretty sure they would get it to pass if more people, if enough people were there, they would be like, yeah, because I feel like the people who hold the preference shares are more like what Dana was saying. Oh, I buy it and it just there they are getting me look at, me look at payments them per quarter. Not watching it. I'm not looking at the market every day. I have no idea. Like the people there, they didn't even know what the shares are trading at. In
Here,
some
here's the
people.
problem. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
problem. They're not Jamaican. Yes, you guys are Jamaica, but I don't think the preference shares are Jamaican, right? I could be
They
wrong.
have two. They have some Jamaican ones and some US ones.
No, no, no. I mean like
Company. No,
the company.
I think the company is the company is St. Lucia.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
company is St. Lucia, which means
Oh
it's
yeah,
under
yeah,
the
yeah.
laws of St. Lucia. It has to follow the JC's market laws, but it has
Mm-hmm.
to follow its country's actual law, and the country here
Yeah.
being in St. Lucia. Um, so they require 50% they need at least two shareholders and
Mm-hmm.
at least 50% of the value of the
The value.
shares present to get quorum to pass anything. If they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't find that, that is telling me something. And if all right, so on the one hand, I think they're going to go out there looking for enough people to make sure that they get quorum. But on the other hand, I
So
also think that they are going to possibly not do anything. I think they're going to possibly maybe it's wishful thinking. I think they might fail again at getting quorum, which
Yeah, I think they
means
will.
that they will have to pay out the larger money, which might cost them a bit in terms of
You
their
know,
moves.
you still want the debt, you know.
Right, they have to
You
find the
don't
principal and everything.
actually want to pay out this money. You
hello.
want you want to lower the cost of the debt.
Correct. Yeah.
So I could draw my dry quota, and then know if I want to get
I,
this money
I
in, I could do a whole raise around
A
that.
whole new raise.
yeah, I don't know if they have the dry powder for it either,
I mean,
but not
people,
that they might. I'd have to go and look. I hear no Piggles. I can't pronounce the name. Fuck,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Pickles the guy, Jin. What's up, boss?
what's
Brother,
up,
I'm there from there for 45 minutes.
man? I'm
Try
Japan.
get in a talk.
Sorry,
I didn't want
boss.
to disrupt.
Man.
Not true, true me in Japan too long, we get too manageable. So
I get
yeah.
you.
Very quickly, Eddie Focal, that's from when I was trying to get into the
You,
conversation.
you interrupt with signal start to bring up Eddie Focal, brother.
Yeah, because come on money one up. So that's that is why. Just wanted to know in terms of the well, sorry, not even sorry, we cut that out, sorry. But yeah, we cut about it right now
You're
because
So
so
because
live.
here.
cut it out. Cut out what, bro? It's live.
No, me no, I am
Everybody heard you.
cut up. No, me cut up about the focal thing.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, fuck. Yeah.
You're not the only one. A lot of people are. A lot of people are.
yeah, I was asking as well in terms of the efficient markets. So long as I get the conversation, efficient markets. Is it only people making money better from an inefficient market because other people will be slow to react to information? Isn't that what usually is the case, or
I,
we have it
Yeah.
wrong?
let me say that like that whole efficient market theory is theory, right? It's not there is no efficient market in the world. There is no efficiency.
Yeah.
There's no true 100% efficiency,
Market.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Mm,
say that let's say like the most efficient case. Then I have a million in GK, Shay have a million in GK, I have a million in GK.
mm,
All three of us bought it at $10 or
mm,
$50 or whatever. And we think it's going to go to $100 within the next by December next year.
mm,
Now, let's say GK is doing all the things right. They're doing the GKFG spin-off. They're listing it, GKFG on the local market. Everybody happy, GK happy, GK share price fly by June next year, right? Let's say all of that happens.
right.
However, I have a bill to pay in May, and GK is at $170 in May, but my bill is also due at the end of May. It doesn't matter how efficient the market is. I'm going to have to sell because my life requires me to sell, right?
Right. Okay.
And that then causes somebody else to come in at 170, and they may be okay selling at 190, but maybe they bought so much at 170, they bought 10 million worth at 170, that when it go up to 190 heading to 200, them soak up all of the demand with their sales. And so and then I get, it doesn't mean that the market is inefficient. It just means that human beings all have different leverages of need.
Needs. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
So that's where that's valid. Efficient market. The thing they say is the most efficient market is where all information is priced in, which means your predictions don't matter.
yeah. And
Meaning the
even that never really happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make
priced
sense
in and
either.
not possible. So
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about that. But
if I'm
the earlier.
in 3 years time, if that's already priced in, then why would anybody buy?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
So no, I
I,
don't. I don't think we ever get there unless
yeah,
crack.
we'll never, even with Grok or anything like that, we can never get there. Human beings can't get there. It's not that human beings can't get there. Once you have humans in the system, you can't get it. So it's not even a worry or anything.
That's the
It's
market. Market
yes,
is
it just is the market. It's just an econ talking point. It's not a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can look at stocks as being more efficient though, and that's
yeah.
something that we can pay attention. A stock can be less efficient, more efficient. Imagine, like we saw earlier, I don't know, you bring up Edifocal, but I prefer at least bringing up Kintyre. We saw Tyrone mention 29 cents and $29, right? To me, of course, you need to be a cheerleader for him company. You need to be crazy about him company, and maybe that tweet is crazy. Cool. But if you're thinking efficiently, let's say he does pull it off. He is actually he has probably been he has probably led one of the most one of I don't know, yeah, one of the heaviest private equity moves on the market. It don't look like it. I was joke about this before, but like Seven's Restaurant and all of that stuff, those are companies. And he's done buyouts of those companies. The real estate stuff he's done buyouts of those things, right? Those are all things that have value to them or can have value to them. Now, let's say he actually realizes that value and put a couple of them on the micro market if it happened, yada, yada, yada. You know, the parent company, Kintyre, blow up, and it's 5 years later and they're at 29. The 29 cents to $29 move is massive, but then they're at 29 now, and he has maybe three stable companies that are growing well, doing well, spinning off a nice predictable dividend yield. And so now for the next 5 years, Kintyre, the company that 100x from 29 cents to $29, is now bouncing between $29 and $32 and come back down to 29 and 32. It's now more efficient. You get me?
Yeah.
So when the news, when he knows something because he has more information than us, and when the information that he has comes out and people react to it, and there's a big spike in the share price, that's what they could say is a bit of inefficiency, right? But then as a company becomes more mature and earnings become more predictable, then it becomes more efficient, and then it becomes like a JP or a Panjam. Yeah.
General.
As for the earlier question, I don't know. Ask Dana. I don't know if Dana can help you with the Eddie focal thing, but hey.
No, nobody can help you there. Only God. And
No, about God can help you with that. What do you mean? The company is still listed.
Company is still a company. Own shares
Company
in
is
what's
still
this
a
building?
comp,
Yeah.
yeah.
and
A
you,
company hard for them, as you taught me earlier this couple of years ago. A company is hard to do it once it's listed, so make it
yeah,
That's
simple.
also not. See, you're doing the Randy. This is poor Randy.
yeah,
That's the
boy, yeah. I mean, suspension is very close to dead.
also
I-
you set up. like how I know how that user is set. Like you
Mm.
don't give yourself the options, and the options are we can keep it, it can, and
Yeah,
that's
because it can do.
and it's hard for them. And if it's not dead, it doesn't mean it's blessing. It doesn't mean it works out for you because it doesn't die. Like,
Mm.
Correct. It could lose
have
its listed
something that
status.
is and you're not
Mm.
You know.
thing, it doesn't mean you stay. That's not the situation. Hard for dead is not saying it's a good thing for you unanimously in that context. That's like saying the guy when somebody first go to his first run a meeting, everybody should have hold it because it now go dead. No, because
No, no.
money should be
Yeah.
buying from you.
Uh,
They're making their decision. Oh, the person buying from my business now go dead is a oh, you inheriting a now go dead guy. That's you and your decide.
uh, mm.
Yeah. Yeah, and the reality is it could dead, right? How long they have between how long can you remain suspended for these days? Anybody know?
I forgot to read out the group.
Yeah, man,
Is that
that's a bit of research that you can do. I don't know if it's long anymore. I think it's months. But we've had companies that it's so funny. I don't think Siboney ever got suspended, although it was a different market back then, right? Maybe
that's
they weren't.
you know again pulse. Pulse about what's your time?
Pulse was suspended for a long time, and I want to say maybe they were even. I don't know if they were delisted, but I know they were suspended for a long time before they came back on. Um, and we've also seen. I don't know if Sweet River. I don't know if Sweet River.
Did they come
What?
they went I think just never came back.
I don't know if they were suspended. I think they. Yeah, I think they're just
Oh, you're
straight
right.
delisting.
What they released it? I can't remember that. I feel like
I.
we're exactly.
I mean, either way, they've definitely gone now, right? Mr. Lisa Hanna has it. And who else has been down this road? I mean, Kintyre got suspended and came back, and now, hey, you see what Tyrone is doing. So, the story is never quite over, but nobody ever really wants to be in this situation. Obviously, I'm saying that to as a shareholder who doesn't want to be in this situation, but
Yep.
I don't work there. Let's see what the CEO does. Let's see what the leadership team does.
Yeah, I mean they
Um,
changed. Let's see
yeah,
what
let's see what they do. But geez, man, we're talking about something that like Signal say come bring it here. So
No, but Brandy,
happened.
I'll blame your inefficiency for account me. You understand?
You're that.
you're
And
you're 100% correct.
suspension
Right,
shit
but
going on because they might
and
be something must be wrong.
something. And
They,
Brandy is hog cutters, hog cutters, hog cutters.
Yeah, well,
Well, I'm just so happy you guys are back, doing what you guys love. So, yeah, big up
well,
on yourself as usual.
big
Many
up
are work
you.
out. So,
Big up you. You might be don't know. You want to try your hand at the image since you be the only person who try your hand at it. So who knows? You want
what
you could
image
win.
then? Where is it?
So this is the poster for this month. I keep saying this month, this week. The poster for
Is
this
it
week.
on? I was go online to look at it, or it's on Twitter.
If you're
I
looking
mean,
on, it's
X.
on Twitter. It's on Twitter. It's also on the screen if you can see a screen. Um,
Mm-mm.
but it is on Twitter. It is there with the space. I'll share it into the space also.
What would have vault? Oh, all right. Hmm.
So it's 5% of a discount for every element that you get right, and there are a bunch of elements there. So you have to pick what the thing is. Um, although you've done grower before, but hey, who knows? You can give it away.
Mm, let me see. All right, obviously the brick building, brick by brick. There's a race horse, a dark horse thing, which I was mentioned. Um,
That one
I
was
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if that also has to do with anything with SVL. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Uh, mm, for that money stock rally, the GSC, the stock symbols, ladder. What climb ladder? Hold on that. Was that 2017 trophy? You can see. What's the year in
Uh,
that?
20 something.
2019? Oh,
It could
see
be
the point.
2018. It could be 2015.
Okay, we can't read that.
Mm,
Sorry. I even have glasses.
mm,
Yeah, it's 2015 though. I tell you that.
Okay.
mm, mm. You know, JFP possibly the building about the refurbishing stuff. You know, so
Yeah, I
look at
know.
others though. We can't match
Uh,
our friend which we not get it.
the
Mm.
ladders are the funds.
Tony.
I
If you
see.
count
Stop.
them,
Stop.
I see a lab reference. The film, the movie, lab, like camera.
there is a camera there. There is a camera there.
Snakes and ladders.
Oh my God. Chaos is
I'll
a
be looking
ladder.
at first. Mm.
Yeah. But yeah,
Crane. Mm.
it might
Crane
be hard
ladder.
for you to guess. You can guess one away or guess it go with it done.
Ah,
But
cool, cool. Let me
yeah,
go.
but no pressure, no pressure. It's just in case anybody wanted to. I since you're the only person who said that speaker request. It's cool. But big up, bro.
Jamaica is built on a mountain.
Yeah.
Big up,
But
Dre.
we are built on a mountain. Yeah. So big up, Jay.
Details.
Cool. Um, yeah, damn. Then I actually better to throw off with this thing. I gotta talk
That's
about the
fine.
signals.
That's fine. I guess what I want people to take away is, as retail investors, um,
Well, Paul.
yeah, we have power, and we have to take some of the responsibility for the lack of acknowledgement. Cause if we not talk,
It's
then
not gonna change if you just exactly. If
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if there's nobody in the isn't another sphere, you cannot advocate for your rights on your behalf, except Randy, and
mhm,
he's also in the same boat with you. You can't do nothing.
And even I don't even do that much anymore. Come, I can't take no more
Exactly.
beating.
yeah,
I can't
You're
take the
an
beating.
mhm,
investor, so you're
yeah,
doing your part, and then everybody else will do.
Yeah,
It don't really work that way. You can't. We are already crowded out. If you don't have a voice,
mhm,
then nobody's not gonna hear it.
correct. Help the people and the same people turn around and laugh and help beat you. So let them drown.
mhm.
But but for the people who don't want to drown,
Fly in the bushes.
there are options there. There are options there, and you do need to know it. Because you see, like this, going back to the Ari Williams notice, I genuinely, outside of it being funny, the craving, the indulgence of the exchange, I genuinely think that the gentleman was trying to do the right thing in his mind, like him trying to show that this thing
Yeah,
serious.
mhm.
And the fact that it doesn't occur to him at all
At all.
to mention the shareholders or understand that, it's the shareholders who you
Mhm.
are screwing over, not the JSC,
Mm-hmm.
says that he's not, I don't think there's any malicious intent behind it. I think it's
I
that he
don't
just don't
believe
know.
it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just don't know. I just don't know
Didn't even
because
think about you
the
guys.
shareholders in it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that has to change if the market is going to truly mature. As soon as the shareholders demand more, it has to happen.
Things are better now, in my opinion, than
Of
and we
course.
yeah.
I remember the
So
day
that's how I know it can work.
of
Cause
Randy being a Randy balling and stuff. And at JSC, he went wrong. At JSC, he haven't explained this properly. At JSC,
Yeah, yeah.
and them call him almost different name. That
That guy on Twitter.
that's
guy on
right.
Twitter, Ryan Rowe. They were respond to the man, So like, his name is there. Did he say respond to you? Or Scotia respond to you? And then use your name? And spell wrong name them you. Yeah, that used to be. So I come
Yeah,
with that
so they
yes,
can absolutely hate us. They can be super annoyed, but you can't ignore us you know, if we will not be ignored.
thing is built on listening to us.
Exactly. Also, these are
Um,
corporations. These are corporations, not people.
Exactly that.
Corporations don't have
exactly.
feelings.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Cygnus Corporation does not love us, right? It does not
Oh,
love
we care
us.
so much about you that, you know what, guys, I think it would be
Yeah,
best for everyone, and we're doing this for you guys, remember now.
exactly.
Remember.
And it's not even
bro,
enough to
bro,
them. It's like it's a corporation.
as
Huh?
a, it's not like you're telling me my primary benefit here is the money we make from this thing. You tell me say that go lower, I go wait longer than
But
me.
you're doing it for me.
Better for me.
The people.
Yeah, like you're an ordinary shareholder, you make a claim. Oh, you're less debt, more profit.
And
Mhm.
they're
Different
like,
share.
oh, but you wouldn't have
Eh,
to go through the process of lending us again. The whole application
mhm.
process. We can just skip that part.
I would have
No,
to do the
that
meetings again.
Yeah.
And it's funny again. No, not to signals either. I think they're doing the right thing. And
mm,
again, you have to, as a company, you have to act in the space that you actually are.
mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
they have to say like, yeah, we can't tell. I want, you know how we know when we're matured properly? When a company can be honest. Hey,
Say the bad thing.
yeah, hey, here what? We don't want to keep these
Like
meetings because the meetings cost us. Two, it would work so much better for our budget. Like we have a just in case budget, but it would work so much better for our budget if
Mm-hmm.
instead of spending all that dry powder to redeem the preference shares, because we have to give back the interest and we have to give the principal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just change the terms, and we are changing the terms downwards. But here, hey, we are in a different economic environment from when we initially did
I'm
this
right.
thing. Rates are lower, so we're still making it competitive, but it's not as high as it was, and it is what it is. It's still pretty nice, right? 10, we're moving from 10.5 to 9.85. 9.85 is still one of the higher rates out there. And that's 9.85, if we're right, yeah, 9.85, and we're not a Jamaican company. So there's no
So
tax
no
on that.
tax.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that 9.85 is still one of the highest yields on the entire market. You see, when you don't have to pretend, when you don't have to hide, it suddenly becomes a completely different thing,
But
right? It becomes
the problem is that they feel like they have to.
exactly. We feel like we have to lie to you because that's what it was. We will know we've matured when they can just come to you straight up and say,
Yeah, bro. Don't come on.
yeah. And do you know that that's why in advanced markets like the US, is that dilutive secondary offers happen? They don't call it APOs. They said they're going to issue some shares to X, Y, and Z, or they're going to offer some new shares to the market. Look at what happened during with the whole, the movie company shares and even that Bitcoin company shares. I can't remember the name of the company. Strategy, MSTR, MicroStrategy. Oh no, they're just in strategy. The company that all they really hold is Bitcoin, and they have a crap load of Bitcoin. What do? They issue brand new shares, so they're diluting current shareholders oftentimes, right? Hugely diluting shareholders and taking that money and buying Bitcoin, but they're not pretending not to,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not making up no whole heap of other reasons. They're saying, "Hey, we are doing a dilutive event, and we're doing a dilutive event in a market and at a time where what we're doing is so attractive to everybody that there is more than enough demand that we've already identified to soak up this thing. In fact, we've already spoken to the market makers, so them already guarantees that them buying the shares once we issue them, and we're going to we already mark out that we're going to take this money and we're going to buy X amount of Bitcoin with it, right? We've already have all of that, and so we're doing this thing. Now, what are they doing it in? They're issuing these shares in the most popular market in the world. Everybody around the world invests in the US market. That's the level of demand that they're dealing with. And they have market makers in the middle of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Jamaica, if the same people here complain about low liquidity, want you to forget that they complain about low liquidity when they're issuing shares, millions of units to the public. You're screwing your current shareholders. Now, if in the mature market like the US, it is known that you're screwing your current shareholders, but those shareholders have the option of jumping out, of jumping back in, yada yada, easily. Why in the smaller market wouldn't you expect that to be a bigger problem? And when it becomes a bigger problem, why are you trying to pretend like it's not our lie or make it sound like it's just the people saying it? That's how you end up in the situations they end up in. We will know that we've matured when companies no longer feel the need to lie or make things sound a certain way or kind of cover. Just come straight out and say, yo, we want to be a big group. We get this chance for this US company. We also have a company in Damrep. Everybody knows we're a household name Tropical. We are margin to the hilt already. So we need some money to ease up some of this margin debt because Cygnus helped us out a little bit with the last bit of inter, I don't know what you call it. Like we had a gap Would fill the gap for us, and then we need to give them a bunch of shares, and we also needed to help us to get a lot of money, and we don't want to do a rights issue. We want to dilute you, but we believe that things are so good that 10 years from now it might be even
Or
better.
the thing
Yeah,
about they give me something.
exactly. And so we are now going to be a $1 company per share. Think of it that way, but let's do it. Or listen to your shareholders, understand what they're asking for, and you're able to raise the same amount of money via rights issue. Like once you are comfortable where you are, you stop lying. It works for humans, it works the same way for companies. It's just
Mhm.
that discomfort with where they are, that's why they lie. And that's how you know when the market has matured.
Yeah,
When it
I agree.
simple. Well, I don't know if that's a great point to end it on, or if you guys want to keep talking.
Anytime really I fight with APOs again.
Oh my God, if we
But
can't
it
get it
was
from
it wasn't
Bully
even, I
man.
don't even wouldn't even call it an APO point. I
Uh,
would have
it,
just said,
it, it,
boy,
it is. Well, again,
yeah,
that's strong thing. It's not what he
would I
said.
say
It hurt.
why is a very good point to end on. Come to me straight. Don't try to take me for idiot. We're doing
exactly.
all this practice, and we're talking, we're doing our podcast, and we're doing our grower and this and that. And now I know more than I used to know, and now I'm looking at more than I used to look at, and now I'm demanding more than I used to demand. So level up
Start
as
me straight.
well.
Exactly.
Straight up.
That's exactly. Just level up as well. You hit the nail on the head. Yeah, and when them level up, we will all benefit from it.
And again, us leveling up is not against. We pay these guys money to do all we do. We are
No.
your so. End of the day, you're not losing from that.
And I think it would do more for, I guess, investor confidence,
Of
because
course.
I think deep down you kind of know when somebody is telling you foolishness. Like even if you don't know what exactly is wrong with what they're saying, or you can't pinpoint it and say this part or that part,
No,
you
I think
kind
that's
of
scary. I
feel it
think
if
that's scary.
somebody is telling you
A lot.
something that,
Hold on. Say that again, Danai.
I think that's shaped bias. I think a lot of people don't know because
oh,
again, this is experience of people in a lot of ways. It's I walk in and the thing the guy is telling me is all I know, is all I've heard about it. Him telling me that when he says it's better for me, I don't understand why he's saying it's better. I just know he said it's better.
Yeah. And so when somebody else says no, it's not that good.
Even when
Sorry,
he
go
says
ahead then.
why it's better, I don't really get that because I don't know it at its core like that.
It's true. That's true. That's why in fact that this we're always coming back to it, but that's why the initial reaction to the APO thing was initially Danai knows was actually initially surprising to me.
Mhm.
Because it was like somebody tell me say, oh, rain falls from the ground up to the sky. And I was like, no, rain falls from the ground from the sky down to the ground. No, how could you say that? And I'm like, wait, what? What's happening here? It took me a while to realize because it's not so they just genuinely don't know. And then the problem is that when they're facing the reality of it, the rain is falling down on you. You just kind of avoid the people that you tell say it used to fall from the ground up. Or you say, yo, it used to fall from it can fall from the ground up to the sky, but it's that guy on Twitter.
or the sprinklers come on,
Yeah,
and you're
Big,
like,
what? Yeah,
and
it's
yeah, yeah,
rain from the
big up
yeah,
ground.
separate.
yeah. Big up, Seprad. Also, you notice how little Seprad argues. The man them just move. The man,
Mhm.
me just a do my thing. Me just a do my thing. I'll never forget
When
PV Scott saying
it was money made. It wasn't even like we had unhappy investors.
when Seprad did theirs.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I thought then that the share price is probably gonna fall a bit and
Mm-hmm.
it did. It did fall
It
and
did.
stagnate
And
for a little while, but
it for a while.
the man they managed it out a certain
Hey,
way.
yo, we do this when we can benefit.
And you're gonna take an X amount of years hold it and look at them. Look at they're using the material market in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
congrats to them. I think they would have listed in Trinidad today, not separate, but there's one of them
Yes.
arms.
Right.
Yes, Bryden, now listed in
Same.
Trinidad. What does that mean? What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, that's a big
That's a
deal.
whole. Randy wants another episode to start right
And that, you know,
Yeah. But I'm not going to another episode, but we can do an entire episode on just the
I
separate,
agree.
just separate.
I agree.
Jeez. Yeah, it's exciting times. But yeah, stop taking people for idiot and the market will mature. And if you are the people, as we are all the people, let's stop taking ourselves for idiot. Let's listen to everything. That's one of the best ways I think that you can do easily.
mm-hmm,
Listen to the views and listen to the views that contend, and then seek for yourself to find out how it really go.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have to defend anti-APO sentiment now. I just point to all the APOs
Except
and
one.
say, okay, except one and KP REIT, both of whom, well, KP REIT is raising again soon, I think. And I think 138 might try a second raise. So
Them still need the money.
yeah, and funny enough, you notice now again how again shareholders are poor. You notice what was said around Tropical's APO. They never wanted to call it an APO
Mm-hmm.
because investors are smarter. We know
Exactly.
better, so we want to call it something else. But we call it what it is, a dilutive secondary offer. Yeah, call it what it is. And
That don't
then
sound nice, though.
it don't sound nice. I wonder what KP REIT will call theirs.
It'll be interesting to see.
It'd be very interesting
Absolutely
to see which the
interesting to see.
first company to try a proper rights issue with no other strings around it. Tyrone. Right? No other foolishness. Just try a real one. Try a real one. Don't try convert 5 pieces of debt at the same time that you're also having a rights issue. Just try a straight up rights issue. You'd be surprised. I'm not talking just Tyrone. I'm talking to almost every company looking for money now. You'd be
Mm-hmm.
surprised how many billions. There's no limit to how much money you can raise in a rights issue, or you can do the same thing. You can raise the same exact amount of money, and it shows respect for your current shareholders and the people who have been
Mm-hmm.
by your side for how long. And I say that to every single main market company. Like it hurt me that NCB didn't do one. NCB, if NCB had done a rights issue instead of an APO, certain articles would never have been written. It's the truth. Could never have been written because the share price would have had such a boost from around the rights issue that even any fall off in share price later on would have been mitigated. There'd have been happy shareholders. The money would have been gotten there. Nobody would be online talking about who
Have
for debt.
more than
I think the whole rights issue APO thing comes back to the rating the same way. Them don't rate way.
Yeah, you're not even a
It,
consideration.
yeah,
You heard it.
it comes back to that. It comes back to the ratings. The ratings are just not there.
And them tell you, say, you're
They will have the
incidental.
little bit
meetings
of
and
money.
ask for your permission because they have to by law, but them don't
But
get
they're not really
that
asking
either.
for your permission either.
No, not
Here
really.
what? We have to ask the shareholders permission,
Yeah, we
but
have
I
to have
run
a
the
meter.
company and I'm the lead shareholder and
Yeah,
I own 70% of the shares. So I'm gonna say yes. And what happens whenever they don't have that? That's when you get a signals.
yeah,
Anytime they
exactly.
don't own enough shares to automatically make it happen, it struggles. So more power to the people. That's how we'll mature.
Mm-hmm.
Big up. But anyway, I think we've spoken for more than long. I didn't think we are gonna go this long, but wow, we seem to be
Well,
You know us, bro, the yapping.
yeah, I
yapping.
can chat. I can chat. I will tell anybody that
Well,
I
all three
can
of us
chat.
can. So
So,
I'm guilty as charged, and then I can talk. As long the topic is interesting, I think people enjoy it. So shout out to the people who enjoy it and listen. Thank you to Shay and Danai and to Pickles for joining. And for everybody listening now and in the future. Big up, hope you guys enjoy this. I mean, Danai and Shay, you should tell the people by it. I don't know. Is the election the election will happen before the next brick thought? Oh,
Yes, sir.
yes, yes, it will.
wow. So maybe
Yes,
maybe
it
maybe
will.
there's no more brick talk after this. Maybe the country mash up and done.
That's weird. Oh my God.
Oh my God. So anyway, yeah. So thank you guys
It's
for
been
listening.
real.
Yeah, it's been great. In case the world ends September 3rd, Thank you guys for a wonderful market. And I do think you guys should go out and vote. I think everybody should vote in their own interest and have a voice at least.
Yep.
So that's it. Have a voice. Shade
All
and
right.
I, anything you want to tell the people?
Yeah, man, people, big up. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, all the
Hopefully.
best. Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a nice little chat. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to next week.
Me too. I have to find a nice. I made the two images for next week, one orange and one green.
Oh dear.
Trust me.
Uh,
Oh
Oh, man.
dear.
Do it from now because by next week Friday, you know who wins. So you can use that properly.
Sir, you know, it's
sure.
been a real challenge for me leaving my house lately because I wear a lot of blues and greens. A
Aha.
lot of blues and greens.
You know, you know
And just generally that's a
I
color palette that I use a lot,
them thing
and
that will not give me no problems. But I also green that color I love. So
yeah.
I end
It's
up
been a
looking at
challenge,
I know
and I kind of just want it to be over. So I can wear
you
clothes
look
and
behind me, right?
it's limiting my attire.
you know
Usually
the
I
funny.
just wear
We used
black,
to
but
include the
everywhere.
orange, bro. So
You got to. You have to. Time come for the curtain. I mean,
Get
jokes
back
aside, though, here's one thing I will say. Now, I think it's good to say. All jokes aside, I've also been sick of this whole thing, and I don't really. A lot of it is less than desirable in my view. But I know how hard you can get when it comes to politics. What I do think is worth mentioning is that I don't even know how to mention it because it sounds political. I don't mean, you know me, I care about the market. I only see one mention of the stock market in a manifesto. And if it's from the GLPs who are from the current government, and I like that because they have promised the micro stock exchange officially, page 32 of their manifesto. They officially promised it, and I care a lot about that because that is
Hmm.
them officially saying that they have to do it. Either no, politicians work for us. If you think I care less, I don't know if I like corporations more than I like politicians, but
really.
but this is an important point. So I do think that is something that we should pay attention to. I am biased towards anything that helps the stock market, and it being
The
in the
thing I
manifesto means
want
that
okay
it's
to
a
this.
it's an official promise.
As
Proven this, bro.
I said something the other day,
Proven this,
and
Randy.
Say that again,
yeah.
Dana.
Proven listed, bro.
All right, don't say nothing, Dana. Go ahead, Shay.
Yes. You know what? It's probably not. I will say next week because I said it and somebody thought it was really, really cool. But it can be construed as or in support of
Yeah, I don't want anybody
one
go through that
side.
sort of pressure. Yeah,
But it's really just about my money, bro. Um, that's what I'm about.
that's
Really is
born.
about the money.
Yes, that's what I say. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'll leave it
But
there.
yeah, we'll see next week what how it go. Hopefully we have a nice
Full
okay
election.
week. I mean the week might not be great, but I at least want it to like be at least okay. And don't get too crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to be crazy
And
at all.
we'll get together next week
Yeah, we
and
will.
not talk
We will.
about more stuff. That'll be fun.
Yeah. You know what? So thank you guys. Night. I forget. I haven't said this. It is the last day of August, trading day of
Oh
August.
yeah. Oh
So I
yeah.
will just point out the securities that have ended so far the year up. What's that? That's 44 securities have
Mm-hmm.
ended the year higher than the start of the year at this point. Number one being JetCon.
And then
Like who?
mm,
Yo,
mm-hmm.
shout out to the girl subscribers, the people in the group. Some of you owe on a picnic some money to specifically. Because we had a conversation months ago, and somebody's child was a pick one, and somebody's child said JetCon. And even I thought, well, kids don't know. From the mouth of babes. 48% up at this point from the start of the year. CPFV from the mouth of CPFV is up. That's separate by another name. RPL, the People's Champ. Carreras, the People's Cigarette. Lasset.
People's cigarette.
Okay.
Huh. SIL, probably one of the more personal interesting stocks for me. MTL USD, SIL USD, 18% up on the US dollar in Jamaica, and this company religiously pays dividends and has a very
Oh,
interesting dividend policy. You guys should check it out. A dividend reinvesting policy that they did themselves. Sterling, the Jamaican side, JPS, GHL, CFF. You guys can see, check it all out on My Money JA. I'll share the link to the year to date. And of course, I don't like any with negative, but I look at the top 10 losers. I thought Eddie Focal would be number one, but no. Tropical is actually lower than Eddie Focal at this point in terms of losses year to date. Damn.
That rough.
that's
Wait,
rough.
so this factors the previous, right?
Uh, Factors when you say previous, what you mean?
It was on the junior market.
Yeah, man, this is straight. This is from January, this is from the start of the year till today, regardless of where you are. Yeah. So they are the biggest losing stock from the start of the year till now is Tropical.
You know.
There's they did it to themselves. Spur Tree. Was it on Brick Talk that I mentioned Spur Tree and said it was down how much percent and that can't continue?
Not sure. Not sure.
I'm not sure either. But whoever knows when I said that, check Spur Tree's price from that date till today. JFP, yo, JFP as the third biggest loser, down 43%. And that's also an interesting down. There's profit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, R.A. Williams.
If you have a
And then,
group chat.
yeah, I'll say it in the chat. And then R.A. Williams, of course, is suspended learn. And then Kaylee, that's an example of one you were talking about earlier that nobody really talks about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, we actually had anyway. That was something for the group that they got that we had privately around Kaylee and who knows. Let's see what happens there. Image Plus. I'll do an episode on imaging because I think there is something in the whole. Because we have a few imaging, well, two imaging companies, right? Image Plus and
Elite.
You
Elite,
need the OG.
and
It-
technically G West.
it-
Mm.
technically,
Technically,
technically.
I don't know
Isn't
if
that a
G
part of
West.
their thing?
I don't know if it's a main part of. I don't know if it's a main or a direct part of their revenue, but I
Okay.
haven't checked
Babe,
in a while.
babe.
Yeah, I know they did some weird thing where it might be rent that them get it instead of whatever.
Okay.
Um, IPCL 1GS 43 cents. I mean, I like the company, but I like the company, but that's not what set share prices. Cabroca's main event. I don't think main event is gonna end the year down there, but that's my personal view. All of this is my personal view. Paramount King Tire, 29 cents, down 29% year to date. And you hear the CEO says him saying in a loud background, so he can't come on and tell us, but he expects this to change into $29. Tyra, that sounds a lot like. I mean, I look forward to hearing from Tyrone. He say he'll speak into. I look forward to hearing from Tyrone. Dolphin Cove down 29% and at $13.
We're on.
And hey, yeah, I'm feeling it, and it should probably be down low. So guys, remember everything mash up at Dolphin Cove. Feel free to sell some of your shit. I'm joking about everything mash up. I'm not joking about selling your shares for cheaper. I would love if you guys did. I would be buying it. There's no secret. I'm making it clear. I would love if you sell the Dolphin Co shares for cheaper. I would be buying them. I care about the Dolphins deep within my bank account. And NPC CEL, who I've always wondered about, but we talk about them on our time. Anyway, I was hoping to hold off until somebody was coming on and said they're coming on, but they didn't. So I will just do it myself. And end with the image. You guys want to guess, and then we'll call it a night. Let me hear what you guys think about the thing.
Dark Horse, SVL, that app with the I didn't even think Dark Horse until people said it. The app with the thing and the money, that's my money JA.
Yeah, I mean,
2015 cup.
I was
2015 cup to me is what the name again? JSC.
yeah.
okay.
The
I thought of JC and them. The ladders, basically, the point is to get back to being the best again at some
Mhm.
point or something. Yeah,
Mm.
Okay, okay,
something like that.
okay.
So
You
me,
guys can go through all the points. I mean, you'd have to.
the camera,
Yeah, go
like,
ahead.
Uh-huh.
the 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 columns right there at the front. I was saying carry,
Container, Korean.
but I'll also say maybe thing there. Could be bank, could be bank.
Bank.
That's typical. Or Fiduciary, NCB, or any other bank.
Mhm.
The crane.
It's it's not just it's not. I should to help you guys out. It's not just stocks. It's about the maturing market. So the image is on point with the market.
Oh.
So I will tell you, like that's one easy. Yes, this is around MyMoneyJA, but again, because MyMoneyJA.com has an app and is also a web app
Mm-hmm.
targeted towards the local market. So everything here is
Mm-hmm.
JSC related from the perspective of the market.
Also, banana tree on the back is using JP
Mm-hmm.
price wake up.
It's right beside the crane, and you know that they own Kingston Wharves, right?
Same so. And the pallet is there, man.
Where's the pallet?
On the crane.
Ah, no, but I like that. Shave here more. I think I deliberately put about 10 things in there. So it's not like it's a
I
lot.
thought those. Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, all of those. I was wondering about this super baby here. I don't know what's going on there.
What do you think it
But
is?
hold on. But he has. Hmm. I don't know. It was just interesting to see the super baby.
Yeah, Super Baby was hard
But
to
he
get
is
to, but
wearing American colors. Don't know if that means anything.
everything in there has meaning. I wasted 15 minutes getting this image right.
All right, so I don't know. Maybe super baby. Wait. It looks like the trophy's on top of money. Is it on top of money?
No, 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 no.
What is
Don't
it?
get that
Okay,
deep.
cool.
No more guesses. Then I have any more?
Mm. Can't really make out it. Figure out
Yeah,
what that.
some of them are crappy, so they're very generalized.
Guys in the building.
Ah,
Oh, suits. In the houses. Those guys.
it's related to that. That's actually pretty close. So I never even thought you'd get that one. I never
The,
thought anybody'd get that one.
on that door, that logo look familiar. Does it? Okay, anything anybody else know?
No, no logos there. You can save your energy.
Okay, I have no clue what that is. And then in
Yeah.
there. And the flags are GK.
Or the flags, GK. All right, so let me go from the base up. Obviously, it's all JC. One, two, three, four, five. I'll do it this way. So it's all JC related. I'll do from the top down actually. The cup, yeah, JC. You know, then I thought you know this one immediately. I mean, JC 2015, also 2018. You know, number one stock exchange in the world. Bloomberg, yada yada yada. Right? Um, the market still being built, which we love. The camera is not lab, it's not a specific stock like that, but it speaks to the fact that the market is mature now. So like we have bits of media, bits of content that is related just to the stock market. I mean, we do this every week, just to the stock market. You have
Mm-hmm.
Kalila out there doing things just to the stock market. My Manager sponsors the weekly market report on taking stock. That's
Oh, the people.
just Huh?
Super baby is cool. Continue.
The super baby, yeah, the super baby is the USD market.
Oh, it's not a super baby, it's American baby. Okay.
Well, it is
America.
a super baby. It is a super
I
baby.
said
Well,
a
it's a
super
flying
baby
baby.
and
It's
it was
America's baby.
making
Gotcha.
America wearing American colors. But you
Yeah.
know what? That's good. I didn't think about that. The USD market.
So it
I
is the
like that.
USD market and the USD options on the market, the bond ones and
Mm-hmm.
the USD stocks. Not a very active market, but it has grown in its style, and there have been some super profits made on that market.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the beginner. The Benin here that you mentioned, that is there two guys making a deal in private. It's the private market. Hardly
Oh,
anybody knows about it. Yeah, it's also very difficult to get. This is screwed up, so I didn't expect anybody to get it. It took me a while to realize what it was based on what I'd done.
what that is.
Um,
The
it's
domino.
supposed no, it's supposed to be like the graduation hat.
Ah, that's an odd place, but okay.
Well, if it looked more like the grad cap, it would be clearer because it's just things, it's just objects, right? Um, the different levels are supposed to represent the different markets that the JSE has.
Mm.
The different marks of the JSE, but it didn't work all out the way I wanted, so it didn't really matter. This gazebo being built here is supposed to be under construction. It's not done yet. It's supposed to be the micro market, so it's
Mm.
coming, right? So
Oh.
more things being built for the micro market coming, and of course the money. There's a crap load of money that's been made on the market, and there's even more that's going to be made. There's dividends. There's the payout. Just the amount. Think of the billions that have been raised and the market value. I mean, I remember when QWI got listed, the JSE broke a trillion in overall market cap, right? And so there's a general point. The dark horse, is the dark horse supposed to be there? Oh, so the dark horse is near the money because also the dark horse is near where the big money is, and we know the bigger money, as big as the equity markets are, the market for debt is bigger. And so the dark horse is actually the bond
Mm.
market because of the opportunity that I think exists on the bond market and will only grow. And it's near the flag here because of the JMD bonds, the government bonds that could become listed, and near the green bonds that could be listed in
Yeah.
the future. Yeah, I think that's it. Anything else I remember, I'll say it afterwards. But yeah, that's this week's image, this week's guessing game. I hope you guys got it right. Shout out to those who tried, and thank you guys again for joining. Thanks, Danai and Shay, and let's call it a night.
All right.
Yep.
Night, 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 night,
See
everybody.
you next
Wait,
week.
let's hope.
Big up, yeah, man.